Shalom. Shalom to the brethren. And what up to everybody else? This is your Op, Brandon Lewis. And this is the Lunar Solar Shabbat Scripture Study, where we search the Scriptures, looking for ways to apply them to the life that we might become perfect. Too long have we read a scripture here and a scripture there, creating whole doctrine, never knowing the fullness of the context of those scriptures, the fullness and the context of those chapters and those books. And we have ignorantly made them say things that they did not say, made them intend things that they did not intend. May we now read them in the fullness, in the context that they were meant to be read in, and know what they were intended to teach us. May the Most High be with us as we read through His Word, as we place them in their proper context, the proper people in whom they were written about, and the proper time frames in which they were written about. This is the time of the rebuilding of the nation, not the rebuilding of temples made with men's hands, but the temples made with the hands and the ruach of the Creator of the heavens and the earth. May we be as we ought to be. May we know what we ought to know. May we have eyes that see. May we have ears that hear. May we build up what needs to be builded up. And may we tear down what needs to be torn down. Come together in love, peace, and unity of the brethren, of the mind, and of the heart. In the name of the Son, of the Creator of the heavens and the earth. Shalom.
All praises to the Most High. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High, yes, shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
Okay, I'm riding on a wave, I am on a wave. To my sin I was a slave, and He died to save me. Broke the chains and got away, yeah, I found a way to give Him thanks and sing His praise, so I give Him praise. Now people looking at me strange, like why you changed it? Open my mouth with a praise, like what can I say? Yeah, I was going through some things, I was feeling pain. Felt like my whole life was slowing down the drain. So Romans 8:28 showed me the purpose. Found purpose, my patience, found the virtue. I repented of my ways, changed my ways. Now everything I do and say is not the same. So what you thinking is okay? No, it don't faze me. I just hope to make the most high my habitation. keep me in all my ways. I prayed for salvation and he showed me brand new and potent scriptures to kill the old me. Brand new and potent scriptures to kill the old me. Brand new and potent scriptures to go ahead and kill the old me. I'm on a roll. Yeah, I just let go of the wheel and he took control. Now I'm trying to keep it straight. I can't turn away. I just enter into his gates and I bless his name. What you gon' do upon that day? You can't hide your face. To the man who you gon' run to, what can you say? He told us not to fall asleep, so I stay awake. I'ma let you know that he coming, he on the way. And from the power of the grave, he redeemed my soul. What does it cost to me to balance up my weight and go? But when I go, I can't take nothing away. If they hear that, they wanna change up the conversation. What you feeling is okay, no, it don't faze me. I'ma link up with the saints and we sing his praises. Got me riding on the wave. Yes, I am so grateful that he chose me. Brand new and quote scripts of the killer old me. Brand new and quote scripts of the killer old me. Yes. Brand new potent scripture to go ahead and kill the old me. All for the creation, one mother, two nations, birthrights and blessings, Esau and Jacob, raised with thick hair, brother grab your heel, birthrights and blessings, it was our God's will. You ain't know that you were special, you ain't know you had a purpose, they've been lying to us from the jump, the truth lives in the verses, one father to his sons, we are God to the people, who were sold into slavery, house of God to Egypt, generation population growing, multiplying and growing strong, we was building all the major cities, they oppressed us with bread song, forced labor put us in the fields, dead babies to the crocodile, Pharaoh's daughter washing in the river, Moses filling up the river Nile, shoes off up the burning bush, Moses took the rod in his hand, God rained out 10 plagues, brought the people out the land of Ham, set apart unto the former, all that opened up the matrix, Lord brought you out the house of bondage, you were destined for greatness, yeah. But, okay, brand new, give us crib, shoulda get out. Brand new, potent script, shoulda go ahead and kill her, oh me. Huh.
If you were worried about where I met or who I saw or what's but I go to on the lonely, baby, don't worry, just know that he got me. I never worry about where I met or who I saw or what's but I go to with the homies, baby, I don't worry, just know that he got me. If you were worried about where I met or who I saw or what's but I go to on the lonely, baby, don't worry, just know that he got me.
All right. Shalom to the brethren. Shabbat shalom to the brethren, for those of you that know about that sort of thing and believe in that sort of thing. And what up to those of you that don't? So, all praise to the Most High, thanks to his chosen representative, Yahushua HaMashiach, the Most High, the creator of the heavens and the earth, the seas, and everything in them. Give honor and esteem to him this day as we rest and as we consider him and consider his word. And shout out to everybody tuning in. Greetings to you from the house of B. Lou. Thanks for joining us. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, all that old tube stuff. Today we're going to be getting into a lot of different scriptures, but particularly shout out to Kafa. Yasharal Yahoo says shalom. Big head, you know. Shout out to his head as well. Brother got to have a lot of knowledge. I assume it ain't empty space in there. Shout out to him. Shout out to the house of Kafa Bun Yahoo. My sister Nequa. Today we're going to be talking about. Give me 1 second. What is going on? Okay, today we're going to be talking about what is witchcraft, rebellion, and stubbornness, right? They all kind of go together. These are all negative traits uh that we are not supposed to have, and we're gonna get into it and look at them, man. We're gonna take a deep look at them, and see what thus saith the scriptures, right? So let me get my screen shared up. Let's go into the Strong's Concordance, pull up a couple scriptures, and then pull up some definitions, right? Let's get on into the blue letter. Where my blue letter at? No, I shared up some blue letter over there. Hold on one second. Let me get my blue letter Bible pulled up. Blue letter script pulled up. Here we go. Blue letter script. Let me decrease and these scriptures increase. We're gonna look up witchcraft. See what the scriptures say about witchcraft. Witchcraft is used 3 times in the KJV. First Samuel chapter 15 and 23 says, "For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft." We're also going to look into rebellion, right? After this. And stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. We're also going to look into stubbornness. So, right off the rip, let's ask ourselves, are we in any ways rebellious? Because that's not good, right? It's a sin. Do we participate in any form of witchcraft? And are we stubborn? This is what we want to ask ourselves this day. Also, witchcraft is found in Second Chronicles chapter 33, verse 6. And it says, "And he caused his children to pass through the fire in the valley of the son of Hinnom. Also, he observed times and used enchantments and used witchcraft and dealt with the familiar spirit and with wizards. He wrought much evil in the sight of the mighty master to provoke him to anger." We also find it a famous thing from Paul here, which talks about the characteristics that will not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. And among them are idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies. All negative characteristics, brethren, that we should not have. So, real quick, let's get into the earthly or the worldly definition of witchcraft. Let's get it pulled up. Let's go to the Webster's, Merriam-Webster them. Witchcraft, the use of sorcery or magic, communication with the devil or with a familiar. That's also a spirit, familiar spirit. 2, an irresistible influence or fascination. This is also where we get the term bewitched from. It is to be under the influence or to be fascinated by something is to be bewitched. So not only should you not be a witch, but are you being bewitched? Are you under the influence of a witch or of a warlock, mind you? 3, rituals and practices that incorporate belief in magic and that are associated especially with neo-pagan traditions and religions. a tradition or religion that involves the practice of witchcraft. All righty then. So that's what we got on that. Now let's get into. Hold on, let's see if we got some questions here. Zaquan, Ezekiel, shout out to the elder. Shalom, Elder Zeke. Once again, we are looking into what is witchcraft, rebellion, and stubbornness. This might be a little quick thing, I don't know, but let's pull up. Let's go to stubbornness now, because we saw witchcraft is like stubbornness, right? So let's pull up stubbornness. Hold on, why are they trying to say it's not in there anytime? That's crazy. Did I spell it right? Did I not spell it right? What's going on here? Oh, I forgot the second N. Always forgetting that second N in that thing. I've been missing that N all boker. Okay, stubbornness is used 2 times. Of course, we know it's in First Samuel. We just read it, but it's also found in Deuteronomy chapter 9, verse 27. Remember thy servants Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Look not unto the stubbornness of this people, nor their wickedness, nor their sin. Hey, let's check that out. I think that's Moshe talking. That's Moshe crying out to the Most High, trying to get him to not pay attention to the stubbornness. Here we go. Deuteronomy chapter 9. Let's start at 25. Hold on. Let's look at 24. Ye have been rebellious against the mighty master from the day that I knew you. Thus I fell down before the mighty master 40 days and 40 nights, as I fell down at the first, because the mighty master had said he would destroy you. Let's look at this for a second. This is a little side note, but we see that Moses, being a true shepherd or a good shepherd over the people he's been charged with protecting, when he found out about their demise being possible, he went and fasted pretty much. It said, he was up on the mount. It didn't say he ate, right? Fasted 40 days and 40 nights for his people to try to get the Most High to spare their lives. So we see what kind of man Moses or Moshe was. Christians want to talk about the law of Moses. We done with the law of Moses and all this stuff. And, the 10 Commandments and different things they point to about him. But this side of him, the fact that he cared so much and loved or he ahabed so much that he would do this. Some people fast for like a day, 2 days, a week. Who fasting 40 days and 40 nights? Like, who's not doing nothing else but praying and supplicating to the Most High for somebody for 40 days and 40 nights? Moshe did it. Moses did it. Continuing on. And I prayed, therefore, unto the mighty master and said, O mighty master, destroy not thy people and thine inheritance, which thou hast redeemed through thy greatness, which thou hast brought forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand. Remember thy servants Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Hey, listen, he had to point them to somebody that's not stubborn. hey, listen, he had to point them to somebody who was acting right, who had the right characteristics. But how long are we gonna ride other people's coattails? When can we be spoken of like this? Being the people that was void of these negative characteristics, who only had the positive characteristics in them. When is that gonna be us? We've been riding Abraham, Isaac, coattails for the longest. King David coattails. But Mashiach said the least in the kingdom gonna be greater than David. And it said he was a man after y'all's own heart. So that's telling us that we're gonna have to elevate. Choose you this day. Remember thy servants Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Look not unto the stubbornness of this people, nor to their wickedness, nor to their sin, lest the land whence thou broughtest us out say, because the mighty master was not able to bring them into the land which he promised them, and because he hated them, he hath brought them out to slay them in the wilderness. Moshe was even considering Yah's name. You know, not only is he trying to keep his people alive, but he's saying, Most High, these people, these other people, they're going to talk about you. They're going to bring a reproach to your name if you do this. Now, granted, the Most High knows all of this. He knows all, right? But it just speaks to the kind of a man Moshe was, to voice these kinds of things, to have these kinds of thoughts in him. Nothing about him. He's not saying me, woe is me, I'm tired of dealing with these people, you know, all this old stuff. He's saying free them and consider yourself. Nothing he's doing is selfish. It's all selfless. Yet they are thy people and thine inheritance, which thou broughtest out by mighty power and by outstretched arm. This is what you call a mediator. This is what you call a mediator. A mediator is somebody that brings peace to a situation, right? One who is rebellious, one who is stubborn, and one who is involved in witchcraft cannot be a peacemaker, because none of that involves peace, as we'll find out as we continue on. So all praises to the Most High. I was not intending to go there, but you know, we do that, you know, freestyle and whatnot. So we were looking for stubbornness, and it was only used twice. So let's look up stubbornness in the Webster's dictionary and see what that is. See what Webster say about it. I got it that time. I got that second in that time. Okay, stubborn. Unreasonably or perversely unyielding. Mulish. Justifiably unyielding. Suggestive or typical of a strong, stubborn nature. Performed or carried on in an unyielding, obstinate, or persistent manner. Difficult to handle, manage, or treat. Do you know this is goat-like mentality, right? Not goat as being the greatest of all time. Goat is being contrary to the characteristics of a sheep, which is what we are commanded to be out of its characteristics. A sheep is not stubborn, right? A sheep is one that goes where his master bids him to go, right? He does what his master guides him to do. And it looks for its master for its direction, right? So to be stubborn is really quite contrary to that. And it's really a trait that ought not to be found among us. We ought to be ones who are reasonable. You see up here? You see up here where it say unreasonably, right? Take the "ly" off and you have unreasonable, right? We ought not to be unreasonable. The Most High is reasonable. It says plenty times throughout the scriptures where he will reason with us face to face, right? Moshe was reasoning with the Most High. The reason is when you bring forth facts of a situation, right? Facts that might not be considered. That's reasoning. Hey, look, let me tell you this, okay? Maybe you didn't understand. Maybe you didn't know. Let me give you this information. That's reasoning. That's trying to come to a conclusion that's, you know, that's what's the word I'm looking for? A conclusion that is agreeable to both parties, and it's like to not be that is to be contrary to the righteous characteristics. So as we see, uh witchcraft, we already know it says, communication with the devil and all this. This is not good. To 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 try to bewitch or to try to control someone's action by some kind of mystic type deal or through some type of technique to change a person's will outside of reason. Now, if you could reason with someone and present them facts, that's not witchcraft. That's not to be one who you know enchants, you know, but to secretly, sneakily do things is not the nature of yeah. So um stubbornness and witchcraft is all bad. Let's get into rebellion now. Let's get into rebellion. Rebellion got to be in that thing a whole bunch of times. You know what I'm saying? Because we are stiff necked and rebellious people. So I know that thing is in there a lot. We gonna also get into the Hebrew of these words, but right now we just keeping it English. You know what I'm saying? Rebellion is used 9 times. For I know thy rebellion. Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 27. For I know thy rebellion. This is Moses talking to the people again. You notice, Moses was always rebuking and encouraging, right? Rebuking and encouraging. That was Moshe's whole conversation, and pleading with the Most High to save these hard-headed, stiff-necked people, but rebuking the people like, listen, man, y'all, listen, y'all this, y'all that, y'all keep on, you this, you that, you that, you that, you this, you that, and then encouraging by trying to get them to understand the Most High's power and His will and how He will come through. Because Moshe had a peace that surpassed all understanding, which those that follow Yah get, because Yah reveals himself to them and they trust in that in such a way. And it's hard to give that to somebody else, man. You can't give to somebody else what Yah showed you. They got to trust in him and have some type of a thing with him that he reveals himself to them. And that's why we have a lot of trouble in things, because what Yah has shown us the testimony he has given us, we expect when we share it with people that they'll have the same feelings. And they can't have the same feelings, you know why? Because they ain't got the same experiences. You know, we can't even expect them to. That's what we have to remove out is expectation of them having of its effect on us having that effect on them. Whatever knowledge we learn, anything that's been revealed to us through search, through ups and downs, through whatever, we can't expect it to have its effect on them. You know why? Because it ain't happened to them. You know what I'm talking about? He didn't tell them, right? But Moshe was always in this mode of trying to frame for the people what Yah is and trying to get them to begin the process of building that relationship. He's like, you can't build that relationship if you wicked, if you this, if you that, if you all these negative things. He like, get rid of that. So the promises he's giving you, you can have. And likewise, man, that's what me and a lot of brothers try to do, is to rebuke and encourage. You know what I'm saying? We got to rebuke, because when certain things are made known to you that certain things are wrong or inaccurate, you got to go and share that information. Now, we expect people to go and not to just believe our word, but to test our word and to research our word and see if it's true, because we're not giving you of ourselves. We're giving you what's been revealed to us. And we don't expect our word to be law. We expect the Most High's word to be law, and we expect you to go get your own experience and quit trying to mooch off our hard work. We the servants to come serve you, but we not, listen, we not finna wipe your face and brush your teeth and wipe your behind, man. Listen, somebody, you got to do your own business. Your own due diligence, man. This is a people, we are a people, by and large, that want to quote unquote piggyback, a lamb back, ride the coattails of other people's work in other people's lives. I've been living through other people. Don't live through me. Go live your own thing, please. I'm trying to tell you. You know, that's why we ain't supposed to have all these titles and all this stuff being above one another. We're supposed to be brethren to help and aid each other along the path, strong defenses against those that come against the gates of the bat, of the house, of the family, the house of Yasharal, Ak, Akotes. That's the whole gist of the thing, to be helpers and servants, to help you along on your path, nigga. That don't mean you get to sit still on the couch while I go do all the walking and all the moving and all this, and you just said, man, you know, let me get a little taste of that. No, nigga, you gonna starve for too long, because I'm gonna start to feel like you're playing me. As my baby say, you're doing me. You know, we're not gonna do that. But anyway, shout out to Moshe, man. You know, what he is, I don't think all of us completely understand what he was. But for him to be in the position he was in, he had to have been a great man. You know, who gonna fast 40 days and 40 nights for some people that tried to kill him? You know they tried to kill him, don't you? You know they was finna pick somebody else and put him in his spot, don't you? But this man fasted for them people and prayed for them people, cried out for them people. We'd be like, man, I'm done with that nigga. I ain't fooling with them no more. That's us. But him, Most High, please don't destroy these people. Remember your promises. Remember Isaac. Remember Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Remember that. Consider that. The man plead, the man mediating. He was not rebellious. He was not into witchcraft. He was not stubborn. If anything, he was stubborn towards peace between the Most High and his people. But you see, that's righteous. You know why? Because Baruch, blessed are the peacemakers. And that was his mindset, to bring peace, to bring shalom. Is that yours? Is the question. Now, as we said, Deuteronomy chapter 31, for I know thy rebellion and thy stiff neck. Stubbornness, another word for stiff neck. I know thy rebellion and thy stubbornness. Unreasonably unyielding. It don't make no sense why you so stubborn. You just doing it just to be doing it. Behold, while I am yet alive with you this day, ye have been rebellious against the mighty master. And how much more after my death? Who you think gonna be fasting for you 40 days and 40 nights? I'm doing it. I'm crying out. I'm pleading with you. And you're still going wrong. What you gonna do when somebody like me ain't around? But yet he persisted. He did the work till he couldn't do the work no more. Told I, may we all be likewise minded. The mighty master, master of masters, power of powers. Hold on, that thing is wow. Mighty master, power of powers, mighty master, power of powers. He knoweth, and Yasharal he shall know, if it be in rebellion or if in transgression against the mighty master. Save us not this day. 1 Samuel chapter 15 and 23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry, because thou hast rejected the word of the Most High. When they rejected the word, you ain't gonna believe what they was being. They was being stubborn. They was being unreasonably unyielding. They didn't want to yield. You are going to be in bondage to someone. Either you're going to be in bondage to the adversary and sin, or you're going to be in bondage to the Most High in righteousness. That means you are bound to it. Ain't no getting around it. That's what you got to do. When you're in bondage to sin, you can't do righteousness. You got to do sin. And when you're in bondage to righteousness, you can't do sin. You got to do righteousness. That's why Hamashiach said, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. You know why? Because I'm going to put it on you. You better believe it. What you think we out here willy-nilly, fancy free? You think you get to go out here and just do your own thing? You want to be a wild ass? Snuffing up the wind at your leisure? No. Where they do that at? That's what the most I want to know. Where they do that at? He said, go search, find out. Has anyone done as this nation has done? They want to know where they do that at, like they do, like Yasharal do. They think they just get to do their own thing. They think they get to eat at my table and eat at the table of wickedness. Stubborn, stiff-necked people, what he call them throughout the whole book. And the books that ain't in the book. Has rejected the word of the mighty master. He hath also rejected thee from being king. This is talking about Saul. It's talking about Saul. But as we know, the people was also called rebellious and also called stubborn, as we've seen with Moshe. So we see the Most High don't care for this. He don't care for it from a group of people. He don't care for it from a single person. And I dare say that in this awakening, we have been quite stubborn. Me and my brother, other people, been trying to tell y'all about certain things that we do, that we are not to be doing. And you know what? You're still doing it. Checking you on things you say that you shouldn't say. You know what? You're still doing it. Stubbornness. And you think you do Elohim a service. You think you do Elohim a service, yet you are unreasonably unyielding. Ezra 4:19. And I commanded, and search hath been made, and it is found that this city of old time hath made insurrection against kings, and that rebellion and sedition have been made therein. This is them people that was trying to come against Nehemiah and them for trying to build up the temple. They are running and telling. I forgot who it was they was telling. I think it was King Darius. They run, because he didn't gave them permission to go and do something. They talking about, man, these people, they rebellious. The crazy part is they right. Okay, they have been rebellious. Many seditions did rise up. But see, now they was under righteous rulership. Now it was a time of a returning, because every so often our people get the hard head and stiff neck. The Most High have to whoop us, put us in captivity in order for us to get our mind right. Because that's what you do with rebels. Okay, that's what you do with witches. That's what you do with the stubborn. Okay, you got to put them to the rod. And he said in our captivity, right, that we would bethink ourselves, we would consider, and we would turn. You know why? Because his discipline's so strong, he ain't gonna have no choice. And these people didn't consider, and they was ready at that point to get right. They was ready at that point to get right. So the question is he gonna have to do it to us today? We so rebellious, we so stiff-necked, we so stubborn. Is he gonna have to punish us more so than we already are? We already sit around transgressors, unclean people. We already sit in something that should disturb us so greatly that we cleave to him. But apparently we ain't bothered. We ain't bothered. We like going to work with the heathens. We like, having heathens serve us our food. We go to the heathen stores. We ain't doing nothing to try to establish our own. So we must like it. And we like it to the point we still doing the ways of the heathens and the ways of the Gentiles. And apparently we need a little extra. You know what I'm saying? Slavery didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Police brutality is not working. We crying out, but we ain't making no changes. We not making no change. We just crying out. We just praying and all this other stuff. We not really changing. We got to bring the spiritual to the physical. But anyway, that might be too much for this. It's too early in the bulk of all that. But Job, for he added rebellion unto his sin, he clappeth his hands among us and multiplied his words against the Most High. This is what a stubborn person does. Say he clappeth his hands among us. He won't be repentant. He won't be remorseful. He happy. He clapping his hands. An evil man seeketh only rebellion. What kind of a man, brethren? What kind of man seeketh to rebel? Seeketh to be, what was the definition? Did we pull up the definition of rebellion? We did pull up the definition of it. We did, and I can't remember some of the traits of the word real quick. Let me pull it up real quick. Rebellion. Okay, opposition to one in authority or dominance. We didn't pull it up in the Webster's though. So here, let me pull this up for y'all in the Webster's so you can see it. The definition of rebellion. My bad for not pulling that up for y'all. Rebellion says opposition to one in authority or dominance. Open armed and usually unsuccessful defiance or resistance to an established government. An instance of such defiance or resistance. Hey man, listen, man. Most High didn't set up certain things. He didn't ordain certain things in certain ways. And you want to do it your own way. You know what happened when you do it your own way? You, my brother and my sister, are being rebellious. That's why the scripture says, be careful who you lend yourselves to. Let's pull that up real quick. Let's pull that up real quick. Be careful who you lend yourselves to. It says, uh, one says Proverbs. I mean, it says Proverbs 19:17. Not lending to the poor, you are lending to the Lord. One is Matthew 25:40. Paul says something about lending yourselves. Uh, hold on. Hey, for help me out. What scripture am I thinking of, man? I know Paul says something about lending yourself to people, or no, who you submit yourselves to. Be careful who you submit yourselves to. Uh, there we go. Romans 16. I mean, Romans 6:16. Let's get it real quick. Come on now. Romans 6:16. See, I be kind of knowing what I be talking about sometimes. I don't be knowing stuff exactly because I don't be writing stuff down and all that old stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I got it. You know what I'm saying? It's in there. It's in there. Okay, Romans 6:16. It says, "Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are, to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness." You know, you make yourself a servant, man. You there, and you're not supposed to be rebelling against whom you submit yourself to. So if you in that thing, you need to be in that thing all the way. You know, so I'm gonna I'm gonna be in it, but I ain't in it. No, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. This goes for relationships and marriages. You know, some people want to kind of do it and kind of not. No, you got to be, hey, listen, man, got to be all in, all out. Otherwise, you're going to be counted as rebellious. And that, my friend, can be dangerous. Okay. Dangerous on a lot of levels. You don't want to play with it. Okay. So let's get back here. Let's get back to these words. Let's get back to this witchcraft and look it up in the Hebrew. Now let's get to some Hebrew things here. Witchcraft. Let's go to that First Samuel. Of witchcraft. Kasim or Kasam. Kasam, H7081. Kasam. Can y'all see that? All right, we're in there. Kasam. Kasam. Divination. Witchcraft. Divine sentence. Outline biblical usage. Divination, witchcraft of the nations. Balaam. Of false prophets. In a good sense, king's lips oracles. Also divination. Real quick, let's look up divination in the Webster's real quick. Doing a little study, man. Study with me. Let's get it together. I don't know about none of this stuff. I said, well, look, I'm freestyling this thing. You know what I'm saying? We just freestyling. Divination. The art or practice that seeks to foresee or foretell future events or discover hidden knowledge, usually by the interpretation of omens or by the aid of supernatural powers. Ooh, we. If you ain't getting it from the Most High, you got to be getting it from Hasatan, brethren. So if the Most High don't trick, if he don't use these, you know, techniques of trickery to try to get somebody to do what he wants them to do, right? He don't hide it. He up front. He let you know, listen, you do this, you're going into captivity. Okay. When you get into captivity, that's when you're gonna start to understand, and then you're gonna seek me. Okay. That's not trickery. He's letting you know off the rip. You play with me, this gonna happen. And because that happened, this gonna happen. When you get into divination, when you get into this word here of bewitching, right? When you get into bewitching to influence or affect, especially injuriously by witchcraft, to cast a spell over, to attract as if by the power of witchcraft. This is what a lot of women do. A lot of women do this. Brothers do it too. Brothers do it too. You present yourself as one thing in order to gain something. You're not really that person. Your hair really ain't that long, okay? Uh your jewelry's not real. You really don't own that car. You really don't have that kind of money in your bank account. But you present these things in order to attract, in order to cast the spell over. It's witchcraft, man. You be witching. You be witching. A lot of these people calling themselves prophets and apostles and all this old stuff, you bewitching people. You know why? You're using tactic. Why? To cast a spell over, to attract as if by power. You're not being upright. You're not being honest. You're lying to gain access, to gain authority over. You're a witch. That's what these drugs do. These drugs don't cure your problems. You know what I'm talking about? They cover them up. They lie to you. They make you feel better, but you still, whatever problem you got gonna be there when the drug wear off. That's why it's pharmakia. It's the mixing and blending to get a desired effect. And it's a false effect. You know why? Because it don't bring life. That's the difference between Hasatan and the Most High. The Most High bring life. His son said, I came that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Then it said, Hasatan, you ain't gonna believe what he come to do. He came to kill, steal, and destroy. Does that sound like life or does it sound like death? So when you give people these false understandings or these false beliefs, that's not going to bring life to them. Because what's going to happen when you fall? What's going to happen when they find out you aren't that? They're going to fall. You've gained influence. You've gained power. You've casted a spell. And now, just like old girl, at 12 o'clock, all that's going away. You know what I'm talking about? Listen, your horse and buggy, your gold slippers and all that's going away. And they left with the real you. Oh, we gotta understand this stuff, man. It's best to keep it honest. It's best to keep it flat out. That's what the Most High is. He flat out. He honest. Listen, this is what it is, and this ain't what it ain't. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, and it can't be what it ain't be. Right? So, where was we? We was getting into the Hebrew. Pharmacy is a form of witchcraft. That's right. Israelite. Israelite plight. I don't know you by that name, but shalom to you. Thanks for joining us. You know what I'm saying? But okay, let's get into this Hebrew of this word kasam. Okay? Now, I know it's the E and all that. We don't really do all that over here, you know, in the Abri. Ah. So, these words, I mean, these letters is what we are going to look up into here. So, let me pull up my Hebrew chart. You know what I'm saying? I got a Hebrew chart. We're doing big things around here. We got Hebrew charts and whatnot. Right? Through the entire screen. The Hebrew chart. Okay, so here we go with the Hebrew chart. See what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? We got the letters and we got the meanings of the letters or the characteristics of the letters, right? So let's go here. Let's go from right to the left. I would that I had my brother with me because he knows these words off the, just from seeing them. But I'll be willing. I think that's the kaf. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, the first letter is the kaf because the word is kasim, kasam, right? So it has to have the ka in there, right? Ka. The word sounds like the letters. I learned that from my brother. Shout out to my brother K. The word sounds like the letters. That's why we don't understand where y'all get all this shalom stuff and all these other names and stuff. And shout out to the people that use it. Now, I mean, shout out to you. Now, I hob you. But when you think about the fact that the words sound like the letters, I don't get how you got the letters, but you make a completely different sound. I don't get it personally. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't get it. So the kaf means the back of the head. What is behind? Last, final, right? The back of the head, what is behind, last, was final, the least, right? Let's go back. Kaf, and let's see what that is right there. Hey, calm down. We got this. I think that is the samak, the sa, right? Because it's kasam. So you see the sa, the samak in there, right? It got to sound like the letter kasam. So you got to have it. The shamak, a prop to support, aid, assist, slow twisting, turning aside, right? That's where we're going to have an issue at. The turning aside. So we got the kaf, which is the back, behind, last, final, least. And we got a prop to support, to assist, slow twisting, turning aside. All right. So, and last but not least, we got this one right here. Hold on. That might be it has to be the has to be a ah, right? What here? That is the mom. Yep, mom. Yeah, Kasam. Kasam. It makes sense. The mom. Yeah. Okay, so that would be the mem here. Water, mighty, massive, chaos. Cause it's mem, babe. This is mem. I don't know why it's like that, but it's mem. Kasam. You would have to have the ka, the samak, and the mem. Am I right, Kafel? Help me out in the comments, man. Help me out. Mom. Yeah, he said mom. He said it. We getting it. We getting it, though. Yeah. So witchcraft, kasam, right? Kasam is the back head behind last final, something that twists and turns aside. Aid and assist, but well, witchcraft. Yeah, that's my baby in the background. Talking about using things to aid and assist, like um words, lies, things that you use to aid and assist. Um, can y'all hear her? Let me turn her up real quick. Go ahead, back. He uses ignorance and wordplay. Deception. All right then. All right. I hope y'all heard that. Not only is this a scripture study for me to you, it's also for my household. That was my Isha in the back. Speaking on this whole thing. Right. So we see how with the cough, right, which is the back of the head, behind, last, final, the least. Um, and this samak being a prop or a tool used to aid and assist or to turn aside, right? And also the mem, which is water, mighty, massive, chaos, right? So basically using deceitful things to aid you in turning aside and like causing chaos and uh 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 causing chaos, because in the end, that's what you hope to bring with anything involving turning something from how it wants to go in a righteous way. You're trying to turn it aside to a wicked way, right? Or or continue on in a wicked way. You aren't turning it to righteousness. So let's be careful not to be in the way, not to be hindrances to people, right? Because even with things like pills, pharmakia, you're needing these pills to fix and help something, but you're not really addressing the issue. You might take an Advil for a headache, but you got a headache for a reason, because you ate the wrong things, because you don't work out, because you don't exercise. So instead of exercising and working out and eating right, you'll take the pill. So you use the pill to aid and assist in your slothfulness. And what is this going to cause in your life? It's going to cause chaos, right? The mighty waters is going to come rushing up against it, and you're not going to have a firm foundation of truth and righteousness, and you're going to be destroyed. See? So that's what we can get from that right there, just off a real quick little thing in that. What you got there, Kafa? Galatians 3:1. Let's pull up Galatians 3:1 real quick. Galatians 3:1. It says, "Oh, foolish Galatians, who hath bewitched you? Who been lying to y'all? Who been out here telling y'all falsehoods to gain power, to gain control over you?" Right? Not addressing the core issues, but giving you falsehoods. Who hath bewitched you that ye should not obey the truth? Whoa, they turning you aside? Hold on. Is that Shamak turning you aside? That you should not obey the truth, before whose eyes Yahushua Mashiach hath been evidently set forth. Oh, now you being stubborn. Now you being unreasonably unyielding, right? Because you can't see evidence right before you. The evidence being presented to you has been presented to you by Paul, but he said you've been bewitched. You've been turned to the side, and now it's chaos going on because you're talking crazy. And I got a right to you to try to get yourself together. It said Christ has been evidently set forth, crucified among you. This only would I learn of you, received ye the Ruach by the works of the law, or by the hearing of Amunah, of trust. You know, quote, this witchcraft, man, is really a thing of deception that causes, it's really an abomination that causes desolation, really. Ooh, that's what it's gonna do. To be bewitched, to be the person in whom witchcraft has been placed upon, that is an abomination that causes desolation, because you're going to be eventually destroyed. Ain't no life in it. Ain't nothing in it but death. So woe to the bewitched, much more woe to the bewitcher. Oh, you don't want to be that one. Instead of bringing life, you bringing death. Oh, Toda ya, that thing is, that thing is meaty. Ooh wee! Shout out to Kafer for that one. We needed that one. We definitely needed that one. The abomination that causes desolation. What's with all these falsehoods? What's with this white Jesus Christ? What's with this? The laws are done away with. What is this? Jacob's trouble is still to come and all this old stuff. This stuff don't do nothing but bring death because it's not truth. You're not getting truth. Man, listen. Pastor Pork Chop them and all this old stuff, man. Standing in the pulpit, man, telling you lies, telling you stuff, man, when the Most High is a ruach of discipline and a ruach of truth. And these people out here lying and you giving you falsehood, make you think it's okay for you to play with this man. An abomination that causes desolation, man. You've been bewitched. You've been hit by and struck by a smooth criminal. You know who his daddy got to be? Hasatan. You know, so if Abraham was your father, you do the works. But you do the works of your father, the devil, brethren. Hey, listen, ouch. Ouch, I say. All right, let's get back into it, man. What was we at? Witchcraft. So now let's look into stubbornness. What was that? What was that Hebrew word for stubbornness? Did I spell it wrong again? I put 2 B's. Hold on. Dang, what? I thought it was right. Stubbornness. Okay, here we go. We got it. All right, stubbornness. Let's see what that word is in the Hebrew. Kasai. I think we pulled this up a couple Shabbats ago. And my baby. Let's see here. Remember not the stubbornness of thy people. Would it be kasha? Kasha? Well, if the words it'll spell it out. Let's see here. Stubbornness, obstinacy. Let's see what obstinate means real quick. Obstinate. Stubbornly adhering to an opinion, purpose, or course in spite of reason, arguments, and persuasion. What? Hold up now. Hold on. Is this not what we've been crying out, telling y'all about, saying certain words, saying, holy, Christ, hallelujah, and all this old stuff, telling you about this stuff, what it means, what it's supposed to do, and all this old stuff, and you still doing it? Tell you about the feast days, you can't keep any link and all this stuff, showing it to you still doing it anyway. What? Stubbornly adhering to an opinion, purpose, or course in spite of reason, arguments, or persuasion. Obstinate. Oh, all right. Let's get back. What was we at? It was on the blue letter. Stubbornness, obstinacy. Let's pull it up here. I see yet again we got cough. We gotta have cough. You know why? Because we got kasha. You gotta add that cough in there. Okay, cough, and it's gotta be something with a sh in there. Yep, shin. Gotta have shin. How's this kasha? Yeah, shin. Okay, cough, we already know. Back, head, last, final, least, right? Shin, teeth, ivory, point of, a rock, a peak, to devour, to consume, destroy. Hey, listen, y'all already know. Y'all already know where we're going with this. You already know where we're going. Stubbornness is gonna be, it's gonna bring death. Ain't no getting around it. Death is on the way. Now, I don't know what this is here. I don't know what that is. Kayfa, help me. Oh, Yod. Yod. So, hold on. What's the word again? It's the Y, man. Kashi. It's Kashi. Cause that Y is where you gonna get the Yod from. The Yi. Kashi. The Yi with the Yod. So let's go into the Yod. The Yod is a hand closing upon, to work, a deed done, a finished work. So when we get into stubborn, it's the closing of the hand. Like ain't nothing, it's not moving forward. It's not moving forward. Right? Because hold on. Let's see. We got cough, the back, head, what? Behind. Right? Behind, last, final. Right? The shin. Devour, consume, destroy. None of that is good. And then we got the hand closing upon the work. The hand closing upon to work. The deed done, finished. So what I would get from this is the mindset of being final, right? Because here it says last, final, least, right? And the characteristics of destruction, consuming, is that mindset, the mindset of being finished, of being done, or not using your hands, not being active in a thing because you feel like it's done, it's gonna bring destruction. It's the unyielding, not wanting to move or go, to be led, to be shown, to be enlightened. It's gonna bring destruction to you, right? That's what I could kind of get from that. Careful. What you get from that, Op? Is that about right? Talk to me in the comments. What you get from that, babe? Speak up a little louder. Right, because that's y'all. That's y'all.
be like people like even persuading somebody. Like if somebody's saying something and they can't even like if they're giving you facts and they're trying to steer you in the direction, but just with the facts, like even in the Galatians where it was like evidently there's so much evidence that you're still choosing to go do what you want to do. So it's like in that sense that's where it becomes final and so concrete set in stone because even with all the evidence on what's being presented, still that's the stubbornness. So it's final. It's final.
This is it.
It's it.
Hey, and like you see that with talking to certain people that don't walk the walk, with certain Christians. You try to tell them about certain things. They're like, man, I hear you, but we ain't doing all that. I've been serving my God all this time like this. I love my Jesus. I know my God and all this stuff. Like they stubborn and they immovable.
But I think and also a lot of like those with them being up how they are and
I got you, Op. I'm gonna send it to the Facebook or whatever, to the messenger or the email, whichever one you want. Matter of fact, I'm gonna hit you with each one of them. And if anybody else would like to come on and talk, come on in, man. You chopping it up about the word of the Most High, yeah. Come on in. Hold on, man. They got me doing all this check-in stuff. One moment. Okay, for Yasharal. Send your email out. And I'm gonna send it to the Facebook just in case that ain't enough for you. Sorry, y'all. Give me a second. Moving and grooving. Finally got my Kafa amped up. Come on in here. I sent it out. Shout out to Cindy Smith. She's in the building. Cindy Smith. Yeah, so stubbornness, man, is really something that we have to apparently watch, because it's not a positive thing unless its own righteousness, right? That's what we are to be immovable from. That's what we are commanded not to turn from the right or to the left from, is from righteousness. Okay, hold on. Cindy Smith. Shout out to me and mine. Shout out to you and yours. K for Bond is here. Okay. We can't hear you if you're talking. You on mute.
All right, Shalom, blood. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just wanted to share this to bring some clarity as well too. To everything, there's a positive and negative setting depending on the context as which you use it in. Like, say for instance, the letter mom. I know people like to equate that with destruction and chaos, but it also could mean life depending on the context as you use it. For we know that our Abba Yah, he is the fountain of living waters. Okay, so water don't always depict chaos or chaos, or always mean chaotic. It can mean life as well. Just like kuf, the letter kuf is like a sun on the horizon. It could be arising or it can be setting. So with in context, the train of thought or mindset can be, or how you perceive it can also mean like kushi. It can mean settling. It could be settling for destruction by the work of your own hands, basically. You get what I'm saying? And when you look at it, the reason how I come to that conclusion is the context of which is being shared, or the word that's being used to describe an individual that is being stubborn, obstinate, based on the a person can present all reason, all things that prove something, and then a person choose by their own work and their own hand, by their own mindset to go against what's being presented, and actually bring destruction on them by their own works because they lean into their own understanding of a thing. So that's something that I wanted to share as well. And like I said, the proof of it, I know we all equate mom with chaos, but it also could be life. It can mean life, like I said, depending on the context. Context is everything. So that's all I wanted to come on and share with the Mishkan, those that are listening. Can you hear me? I don't think I be heard.
Yeah, my bad. I was on mute. I can hear you out.
Okay.
Appreciate that, man.
Oh,
You
Toda,
know,
yeah.
shout out to sis on here. Michaela is in the building. But yeah, okay, so we got witchcraft and stubbornness. Now let's get into rebellion. Let's get into rebellion. Found out a nephew's wife is messing with witchcraft. I just heard that band. I tuned in and you guys were talking about witchcraft. Yeah, yeah. Your nephew's wife need to stop that, Cindy. A witch ain't got nothing good coming from the Most High. Nothing good coming from the Most High. Right. So let's see here. We're looking for rebellion. I know thy rebellion, Deuteronomy chapter 31. It is Mari. Mari. So we already know it's got to be the mem right there, ain't it? Let's see here. Yep, that's the mem. That's the mem. And is that the olive over there? Hold on, let's see real quick. No, that's not the olive. That is the. Is that the rice?
Yeah, that's the Rosh. It's Rosh. Yep. They got the Rosh. Oh, and for clarity as well.
Oh, it makes sense. Mari, Ma, and the rice. All right, Doc. You got?
I was gonna say the living waters, Chaim Mayim, right? That's how people would pronounce it in the modern term, Chaim Mayim, and that's living waters, right? So, like I said, that mom, depending on the context of how which is used, it can depict a good aspect or it can depict a bad thing. So it's always positive. It's a positive and negative to a thing, but it's depending on how it's used. We see here, this mom here is depicting something bad, right? Mari, like the waters of Meribah. You know what I mean? Where the children of Yashal, they basically fought against the instruction, or fought by the murmuring and complaining against Moshe, which was in truth against the Most High Yah, with they striving against what Abba Yah was doing, and so it was called the waters of strife. You get what I'm saying? So they were striving by, murmuring and complaining against what Yah had, was bringing them out there to do, and they was going against Moshe about that. So yeah, Mayim Chaim is the waters of the living waters, which is depicting the good aspect of a thing, and this right here is depicting the bad aspect of a thing. So context is everything. So it's not. And the reason why I'm saying that because I don't want people to get in the mindset that thinking that every time they see a mom that it's always depicted of something bad. That's not true. And if somebody would ever, if somebody ever taught that, that wasn't true. Now you have what's true now, and you can eradicate that falsehood that was depicted that was shared to you before, and you can see it in the right light. Like I said, the point of reference is Mayim Chaim, which is Chaim Mayim Chaim, the living waters. We know the Most High Yah is that. When you
How you put
do
that too, though? It actually made all the sense in the world. You know what I'm saying? With the word, Hamashiach said, if you had asked me to drink, I would have given you living waters, and you would
correct
never
thirst
would
again.
never
Correct.
thirst
That's
again,
right.
right?
That's
That's that life that you were speaking of, So yeah.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. That's all. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, so let's get back here. We got Mari, which is the mem, which he just said. Um, but in this, it's not positive, right? Because it is dealing with what's the word? Dealing with rebellion, right? That is not a positive word unless it is against sin. You are rebelling against sin, but a lot of people are rebelling against righteousness. So we got mom here, chaos, massive. Uh, it's actually a something that carries away or that encompasses, surrounds, right? Like you said, Yah is Mem. He is something that's all encompassing. He is something that 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 carries away, right? But in the negative, you're talking about being carried away into negative characteristics, into negative traits, into death, into destruction. Whereas Yah leads us into life, into positive traits, into, you know, abundance, right? So we got Mari. So Rosh is next, right? A head, a person. What is the highest, most important? Chief. So in the positive, of course, that chief should be the most high, right? And all of his positive characteristics. Whereas in the negative, it would have to be to the adversary. Um, I would gather from this that a person's head, a person's instruction instead of coming from Yah is instead coming from the adversary. Um,
That's right. Just to strengthen that case too as well. It said, the word. We know the word that says, "Whom you yield yourself servant to obey, that's whose servant you are." So if you listening, if you yielding yourself servant to the Most High Yah, it's going to produce that two fruit. But if you yield yourself servant to the adversary, it's going to produce the negative. So yeah, it can be. I can see that. We can see that. Absolutely.
all praises, Most High. And last but not least, we got Yod, cause it's the uh E sound, Yi sound. So it's the Yi, Ma, Mari. And it is hand closed upon, deed done, finished work. Um, Once again, it's that whole thing about being stubborn, being unyielding, being immovable, because Yod is in Yah's name. Okay, we know he is also something that's unyielding and being unmovable. movable, right? But there's no one to move him. You get what I'm saying? So that's why he is that. He is the epitome of unyielding. But we are supposed to be unyielding on his his laws, his words, not going to the right or to the left, being swayed and carried off, right? Because that's what Hasatan seeks to do. He seeks to carry you off in the negative, right? He seeks to move you and sway you into destruction, into chaos. That's what he did. That's what he did to Eve, carried her off out of the protection of the Most High, the protection that came from cleaving to his word, right? And being in his enclosure, right? She took her covering off in exchange for the word. She exchanged her head. She exchanged her rash, man. She exchanged it. Because she had instructions she was getting. She said, not only should we not eat it, we shouldn't even touch it. She had instruction. She put that off and said, you know what? That thing look good to eat. That thing look it's pleasing. Let me touch it. It feel good too. You know? And she was rebellious in such a way that she got carried off to the negative. She had sat in the positive of the milk. She sat in the positive of it, the living water, the living life. She had life everlasting, but she casted it off. She casted off the head that gave her life and life everlasting, that gave her living waters. She casted it off. She casted off her rash for the rash of Hasatan. Right? And likewise, many of us stand able to do the same thing if we're not on watch, brethren. And one that do such things are those that are rebellious. You know, that's why being called a rebel is really a heavy charge. It's really a heavy charge. You saying a man or a woman has cast off the Most High Yah. And what can come from that? Can life come from that? Or can death and torment come from that? So it's really a heavy charge to be called a rebel. People really ought to watch their mouths when they run around calling people stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a high charge. That's a
Absolutely.
high charge. Go ahead, Doc.
And I was gonna say too, yeah, because you have some people out here that just unwittingly, and I say that when I say unwittingly, they don't use wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. They just based on what they hear and their feelings, and they'll make an accusation. And almost it's similar to Hasatan becoming an accuser of the brethren. See, there's a difference between accusing someone versus convicting someone. You know what I mean? The Most High don't accuse anyone. He convicts because he already know. And what he say is final. So he say this is what you are because that's what you are. But then you have people out here that will say a person is rebellious. You can have a person that's perfectly obedient in whatever they present or bringing forth or walking in or whatever. And because people are in darkness, right? And the light that they perceive to be light is actually darkness, they would accuse falsely the ones that are actually walking in the light. And that right there is an accusation. And that's a Hasatan. So I allow that the Most High Yah help the people to see clearly. But in order for them to see, like you said early in this presentation, is that they would have to seek Yahweh for themselves to get it, to even have that light, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Personal.
So, yeah.
That's why it said, you know, depart from me, I never knew you. It never got personal with us. Never got personal. You was doing all this stuff because, you know, it was the thing to do, but you never like personally. It was never personal. Because if it got personal, I would enlighten you on the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? You got the cover of the book. You don't know what's in them pages. We live in life every day finding out what's behind the cover. What's behind, I believe. We find it out every day. You know, what's behind, you know, having faith in Yahushua HaMashiach. It's one thing to say it. That's the book cover. That's perfectly fine. Oh man, that's a nice looking book. What it mean though? What does it mean? What does it entail? The ins and the outs. And that's the walk. I'll be like, in this truth. Man, that's the book cover. What does this thing entail? What's in them pages? The day-to-day, the ins and the outs, the highs and the lows, the walk. What does that entail? You know, and it really makes sense why a lot of people harken on this, you know, we the people stuff, because they happy with book covers, man. They happy with book covers. They happy with being familiar with the book cover, just like just like they do with the book, man. That's what they say, man. I believe in the Bible. What it say about this? See, I don't really know, cause I need a second. Give me a second, and you know, man, you gotta know, man. Not just always, chapter verse and all this and that, man. But you gotta know this is written. Paul said, "I speak to them that know the law." So he said, "Well, listen, you ought to understand everything I'm talking about. You ought to be able to. You ought to have a working knowledge that anything I say to you ought to be relevant. That's why I don't go around doing all the chapter and verse stuff. I speak to them that know the law too. It ought to be relevant to you. If you can't see scripture and what I'm saying, then maybe it's not for you. Because everything I speak on is going to be based upon that. That's my foundation. And a lot of people don't understand that because they don't know the scriptures. Or they only know certain parts that they've been indoctrinated with.
Absolutely.
You ain't went over here and read this and read that. And that's why you've been indoctrinated. And that's what I've been trying to tip, man. Oh, I'm finna do it. I'm gonna touch on it, man. I ain't gonna go all the way in it, man. I've been talking about hashtag controlled opposition. And I'm gonna pull this up for y'all. Because we need to understand that we just found out that this whole witchcraft thing and all these negative characteristics, they bring death. And that they are contrary to the Most High Yah. The Most High Yah is about things that bring life. When you are subservient to your adversary, that's death. When you are at the damn beck and call of your adversary, that's death. Why have people not came and encouraged us on to life? Encouraged us on to the self-sufficiency that comes from independence from your oppressors, man. That's not what they having conferences about. It's rising up to play. It's drinking and giving in marriage. It's what people are doing instead of building they damn ark. And we got to start seeing stuff for what it is and understand that, just like in Maccabees when it said there was groups of the Yahudim that went out to the Gentiles to make league with them. We got people like that. And we got people just like Herod and his sons. They've been brought up in these Roman schools. They've been brought up in this Roman way of life and this Roman way of thinking. And they brought that to the people. They bewitched the people with the ways of the nations and the ways of the Gentiles, that the people never considered Yah. Never considered what Yah was and what Yah meant for his people to be and to have. Why didn't he make them righteous in Egypt? He wanted them to have their own. In all the captivities, he sent the prophets to encourage the people, for one, to separate from the ways of the people. Listen, don't do what they do. Don't worship them statues. Don't bow down to them statues. Don't eat like them. Don't be nothing like them. You be in your captivity to yourself. Join yourselves together, O nation I desired, was what he told the people. Build houses, build vineyards amongst yourselves until it's time for you to come out. And you're going to come out with great abundance.
for some reason, we think we're gonna be out here just sprinkled out, and we gonna just stay in, stay down, stay all this stuff. That's why we're not growing, man. That's why we still dying. Because we ain't sought life not one time. We happy with the cover of the book and not the inner workings and the trueness of it. We happy with the letter, but not the fullness thereof. And we wondering why we still being rebuked, why we still being in our own personal life, why we still going through hell, why we still going through this, why we still going through that as a people, why we still going through this, why we still going through that. Because we ain't really got on the right path yet. We on the damn what you call that thing, man? We on the little track thing. They call it like
What, a treadmill?
We on the treadmill, running, sweating, getting musty, thinking we going somewhere. We ain't been nowhere. Cause for one, in many ways, we still being rebellious. We still doing stuff we ain't got no business doing. Cause he said, do it like this, do it like that, do it here. And we gonna do it our own way and do it wherever we feel like doing it. We think we do Alim a service. He told us to do a whole bunch of stuff. Why didn't the apostles stay mingled with all the other people and all this stuff? Why did they separate themselves, have their own community, have their own thing, and do their own thing with them? So they could grow, so they could blossom together and move in unity and have a government of themselves. I'm telling you, man, being contrary, we're being rebellious. We're being rebellious, man, because things written aforetime was written for our learning. We don't see to the positive. The people that was counted righteous in the Most High sight, we don't see them moving like us, man. We don't see them. You don't hear about no, well, yeah, you do. Jehu, well, no. They was in the land. They was in the land worshiping Baal. He went up in the temple, said, man, lock the doors. Lock the doors. Don't let nobody out. You know, and I feel like we asking for something like that because we won't separate. We won't separate from Hasatan and his devices, man. You know, it's all about fun and games. It's all about coming together, man. When I had a gathering, it was for a cause. Not no damn cause just to have fun. A cause to bring life. And people looked at that thing, man, like it was a joke. But every time I look up now, back when we started that thing, man, it was no whole bunch of gatherings like that. It was not no whole bunch of gatherings when we started Hebron. Not that we inspired them all or whatever, but shout out to Chosen Seed now. Shout out to Israel now. They the ones that showed me it can be done. Hebrews can come together on the Lord's level or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But we wanted to have substance, to produce life, not just to come together and hang out for a weekend and be gone. No, but to establish something, to build something, you know, to instill knowledge, understanding of things, you know, of the men first. Let the men come together. Let the men build. Let the men learn things they ought to know. Learn how they ought to go, how they ought to be, to experience each other, to build a trust and a bond that they don't have already. It was for a cause. And now, man, I look up, man, and all I see, man, is just parties, man. It's just parties, man. You know, and, you know, shout out to the people involved or whatever. I don't see the long-term point of it. I don't see the long-term point of it. We realize, man, a lot of these brothers with guns and stuff, they don't know how to use these guns. They don't know how to shoot these guns. How you gonna be a strong man of the house? You don't know how to protect the house. You know, a lot of these brothers, they don't trust each other. A lot of these brothers don't even have peace and shalom. A lot of brothers came to the gathering because that was one of the places they could get it. be without their wives, without their kids, someplace they could go to be together. It was no other. I don't see no other thing like it. But it was for a cause, and it's like the people that come for just fun and games, man. Listen, that thing packed. They gotta turn people away. They gotta tell people, listen, man, we sold out. We can't accommodate nobody else. You said, man, we gonna learn how to build. We gonna learn how to do this. We gonna learn how to do that. Man, you hear crickets in that thing. Like, and it's just, we got to start looking, man. Why are the people that lead us, why are they not leading us towards abundance, tangible abundance? Why are we not having life and having it more abundantly collectively? I'm talking about just you and your personal life and them and their personal life. I'm talking about groups of people building and establishing, becoming independent from their oppressors. That's what gets your brakes cut. That's what gets you drowned in your swimming pool. That's what gets you assassinated. When you tell black men and women that, go do that. And they listen, by the way. They ain't trying to kill me because ain't nobody listening. You know what I'm saying? It might be saving my life that y'all don't really care about what I'm talking about. But if you can, like, you go off and follow some of these other people and listen, hey, man, listen. My brakes might stop working in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I might drown in the swim pool. And I do know how to swim a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But this is the kind of stuff they do. People have heart attacks and stuff. You be like, young man, I have a heart attack. And people, they want you to shut up. But why are certain things allowed to be? Why are people allowed to grow? You know why they're allowed to grow? Long as they don't bring life. Listen, man, you can have it. You can have it. You can have international congregations. You can have all kind of stuff going on. They don't care. You know why? Because you're not going to be of none effect.
Right. You're not stepping on their toes. You're not stepping on their toes, and you're not working against their interests. Once you start doing that, that's when you start seeing some uproar. That's even in the community, bro. If you coming around speaking something that's contrary to what is in the interest of those that are bringing whatever they bringing about to people, then that's when you start seeing, mistreatment or seeing things that people you start seeing stuff like that. See, and man, it's so much stuff to talk about, man. And it's many reasons why, you got reasons why you don't see real leaders out there standing up together, either because they're incapable, because they don't have it to bring it, or it can be, they can be controlled opposition, or they can be pushing their own narrative for their own benefit or whatever. It's so many reasons why. You know what I mean? But that's why it's best to, really, like, go after the Most High Yah wholeheartedly for yourself, like being like the 5 wise virgins, man, getting your own oil for yourself, man, getting enough oil going after, because the word is plain, it's clear for those that really get into it and study it. Yah is a reward of them that diligently seek him. And the fact of the matter is that everybody's not doing that. That's just that's one of the issues that we have amongst us as a people, is that people are really not going after the Most High Yah for themselves entirely. They rather wait for somebody to come about to preach or share something, and they go that. And like me and you was talking about the other day, they be on there looking for another fix. Let me go in here and see what somebody else got. Oh, look at this post. I need another fix. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Yeah, scripture junkies in a way. But when I say that, it's like, okay, you're not going after the word. You're not going after the Most High Yah for yourself to get a full, clear comprehension on around you.
Lost, yeah. Okay,
despite whatever's going on around you, you need to be going after the Most High Yah wholeheartedly for yourself. You know what I mean? And use everything that the Most High Yah has granted for you to be built up. Yeah, we know that people might miss it here and there with their communication of certain things, but you get the gist of, like, when they bringing out word or bringing out scriptures or whatever. Now you have the address of where to go, where you can go search that scripture out for yourself, and you have the Most High who is alive, right? And you can go after him, go and search him and ask him for his understanding and seek him, and he'll grant it to you. Even if that person that's bringing that stuff to you is not in line with what the word is saying entirely, it don't matter. They bring it. It's just, and the reason why I say it like this, gonna bring it back to Mashiach. Mashiach said the Pharisees sit in Moshe's seat. Whatever they tell you to observe, right? That hear and do. Now, when they told you to observe this thing, it was based off scripture. They was bringing this out. They was bringing it out in its right context. Do it, but don't be like they are. Don't do as they do, right? So if they sit in Moshe's seat, they actually teaching things that Moshe taught according to how Moshe taught it. Now, I want to bring this clear, and like I say here, if people that have an ear to hear, they hear this. When Moshe taught, he taught certain like in regards to say 3 times a year shall all male appear before Yahweh in the place that he chose to place. Like that's specific. So whoever taught those Pharisees that was teaching that day, they was in the land and they was teaching things to be observed in the land as Moshe taught, but don't do as they do, right? So we want to make that clear because people today is not doing that in that same capacity, and that's just the facts. I'm gonna wind it up though. I just want people to see that now. When you hear word, because I can get message from anyone, like anybody teaching, preaching, or whatever. They bring in the script, they talking about something. Okay, boom. I'll go back and go into that scripture, whatever they sent, and do my own research on it and seek the Most High Yah for his understanding of what he wants, because there's no private interpretation, right? So I go and ask the Most High Yah, and Yah will give it to me. You know what I mean? And it happened many times in my life coming up, and now this is my testimony. With people saying that this is the way to do a thing, whatever, and then they'll provide scriptures and prove whatever. Then I go get there and I really go like dive in. And as I dive in and I seek Yah diligently, his word shows to be true, because he's a reward of them that diligently seek him. So in my diligent search, the Most High Yah shows up and give me what's needed. And I didn't even know that it was the case. And then, you'll see confirmations and people that may have arrived to that same conclusion based off their study and research that you didn't even know existed. And you start seeing that it's like, okay, Toda Yah, you know what I mean? But how would I if I didn't have that experience for myself? You know what I mean? You can't just rely on people sharing things, because you have to try all things, man. You have to try it, but you have to prove all things and hold fast to that which is true. So, these instructions that the Most High Yah has granted for us to have is not there for a filler. It's there for you to apply it, to do it. But if you don't never apply it, you'll never come to you never arrive to the desired place that you need to arrive to, because you didn't take the time out to apply what needs to be applied. You just waiting on other people. Like Ak was saying, you waiting on somebody else to say something. What happened if that person is cut off? Whatever. I removed. I can't bring you a fix. What you gonna do then? Like, come on, man. It's time to stand up, man. That childishness is time to get put away. If you've been
what happened when your drug dealer go to jail? What you gonna do?
Not for real. That's serious though. That's real serious. I would that people really take heed to what's really being said and be sharp in their hearing. You know what I mean? Sharp in their hearing, not moved by, oh, it sound great and it sound weird. No, listen, pay attention in full, and be sharp in your hearing. Be quick to hear, right? And pay attention to what's being said and analyze. And if you have a problem with doing that, ask Abba Yah to give you that ability to do it. If any man lack wisdom, let him ask Yah. But let him ask trusting, knowing that Yah is, and that he's a reward of them that diligently seek him. These things are there for a purpose. Anyway, I'll go ahead, brother. I yield.
Hey, man, let them use you, man. Appreciate you, man. Bring that out.
I understand the Abba Yah. It's just I appreciate that, Doc. I really do. We're not doing that for applause. We're not doing that. We're doing that to help, man. That's right. We're doing it to help people, man. And because if you really truly love your brother as yourself, you would, you looking at other people as you would yourself, you would want that same type of help. So that's the reason why. That's the reason why I do it. I'm sure that's the reason why my brother do it. I'm speaking for myself though, because it's personal. That's right. But people, because it's not the norm, or it's going against what's been widely accepted, it seems strange, but it's not. Once you go and do your due diligence, you'll find out that it's not strange. It's true, when it comes to the word of Yah and appliance. But, I know everybody may say that or whatever, and I get that, all that, but like I say, please try Yah for yourself. Go for it, and really do your due diligence that you're supposed to, because your life is at stake. It's your life.
Your soul is at stake.
Yeah, your soul is at stake, man. Hey, you play with it if you want to, but I advise you not to. I advise you to take it seriously and really go after the Most High Yah on it. And it was another thing that you were sharing too, and I don't want you to lose your thought. May the Most High Yah give you what needs to be brought forth in this time and in this hour for people to hear that's going to hear this. You were saying how the Most High didn't, give them, what they needed them from the people or from that place, and put them in a place, a secluded place, to teach them the way. So when they got into the haven, they can move in that capacity of life that was sustained life. When he took them away, and it's the same thing today. When he took them away from Egypt, he had to tell them, he had to teach them time, right? He had to teach them time. He had to teach them what the year for them, the month for them, the Shabbat for them, and everything. Not according to the way that they were when they was in Egypt. Just like over here today, we have a certain way. We think that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that's the time, but that's not the time. That's not the time based on what Yah. And we have evidence of this in Scripture. All through Scripture, we have it. But our people have accepted what they took, and I get, trust me, I'm gonna take my time with this. I get the reason why a person would think like that, because if you in a city, if you in a place, area where it's taught to you that this is the week and this is the first day of the week, where the deception run deep. They said that we got the first work day of the week according over here, which what they call Monday, but we know that ain't the first day of the week according to the way that they had set in the Roman society that we have here. So Sunday would be the first day of the week according to that idea of how they pushed it. But what was it what was it according to our ancestors when our ancestors followed the true way, according to the way that they followed? What was that? Was it the same way? No. So it's like, okay, so we got to get away from the mindset that was taught to us being over here in this place of exile or captivity. So we don't, think like, because if we think like that, we still caught up in that same well. And but I get it that Sunday the first day of the week, and they say Saturday is the seventh, so they would think like that. I get that point, but it's like, no, we got to go back to the ancient. We got to see how our ancestors followed and what they did and how they done it. And these things are very important. Now, how would you know if you don't go do your due diligence on it? Don't go by what other people, because people can have a bias. Now we are our brothers, man, that we know what we received in time of living, that we come to the conclusion by way of study, we found out different, and we forsook that wasn't true and held fast to that which was, and still learning. So if anything else, the Most High Yah want us to know and see as we go after him, if he say this is true, then let Yah be true and everybody a lie. We're gonna hold fast to what Yah say, because Yah is the one that possess life, and through him we receive life, because in him we live, we move, and we have our being. So outside of him is the opposite. So we're gonna yield to what Yah say and not what man say. And right there we see, even with the Talmudim, even the prophets, the Nabim and the Talmudim, which is the sons of the prophets as well, how they got persecuted because of their stand for the truth, for Yah's name's sake, for the Mashiach, who is the way, the truth, and the life. How they was being persecuted by those who was supposed to have been wise, right, of that time, supposed to have been wise men, scholars and scribes and priests and wise men. How Yah chose the foolish of the world, because he said he didn't choose too many mighty. He didn't choose too many wise. He didn't choose too many noble born. He chose those people to confound those who claim to be wise, because those people that he chose, Yah revealed himself to and caused them to be wise. And they go forth and share the truth, and it confound those that claim to be wise. You know what I mean? So it's like, take heed to these things. These things are still going on, man, in today's time. So I applaud it, man. What I said makes sense, and that I'm not speaking too fast, that it don't go over people's head. And if it had, please pray, please palaw to the Most High Yah, that he can cause you to see what I'm saying. If you think that what I'm saying is of any importance, you might not even care. You might think we just talking foolish. Okay. But I palaw those that have an eye to see and ears to hear, that the Most High Yah will help them, that they will come up to the stature that the Most High Yah has saw fit for us to come up to, which is the stature of Mashiach, walking in truth, in full obedience to the Father, to Abba. You know what I mean? According to his words of life, man. So, that's what I want to share at this time about that, until, if the Most High have anything else for me to do as the unction happen, as we go forward, I share as a witness, you know what I mean? Going, tag teaming with my brother to help to bring life to the people, that the people may receive life, by the Most High Yah and Yahusha working in us, man. So that's all I want to share about that, man. Y'all take it serious, man. Do your due diligence. Don't just take it because somebody that you respect is bringing you something. Always try it all. Try it all. Try it. Take it. Go do your research, your due diligence, seek the Most High Yah diligent for it, and the Most High Yah is gonna give it to you. And don't be surprised if the Most High reveal to you something contrary to what you have heard. Trust Yah, you know what I mean, and keep asking for confirmation or whatever. It's nothing wrong with that, Josh. There was a man in the book where he asked for a specific thing, that thing happened, and then he asked again so it could be confirmed, and that thing happened as he asked. The Most High revealed it to him. I believe it was Yahusha, Joshua, son of Nun, Benun. Oh no, it was Gideon. I believe it was Gideon. Yeah. But yeah, man. So just go after the Most High Yah wholeheartedly and see, man. He'll reveal it to you because, like I said, try His word. He's a rewarder. He will reward you for what you diligently seeking Him for. That's it. So I yield, bro.
Man, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for coming on in, man, and sharing, letting them use you. As we say all the time, it's a real thing, man. We have to lend ourselves to Yah, right? Because if Paul said, whom you lend yourselves to, you know, is your masters pretty much. And it's like we have to make sure, we have to make a conscious effort to lend ourselves to the Most High and to do His bidding, right? Because we ain't doing His bidding, we doing the bidding of the adversary. So speaking His word, showing forth His characteristics, not the characteristics of witchcraft, stubbornness, rebellion, right? Because that's gonna bring death. But the characteristics of being the positive of the mem, of the kaf, right? Being, you know, you know, you know, uh, let's see, let's pull it up here. Let's look up the positive characteristics, um, uh, of the mem instead of, chaos and being mighty um in a way that brings harm. Let's be mighty and be waters in the ways that bring life instead of bringing chaos, right? Let's bring peace. Baruch are the peacemakers, right? um you know Kaf, being ahead, you know um uh you know last and final. Let these things be of the positive nature. The final thing is righteousness. The final thing is the fruits of the Ruach. The things upon our head, that we let into our head, in our foreheads, in our right hands. Let it be the righteousness of Yah, the fruits of the Ruach, all this stuff, Rash. Let our head be the Most High. Let Him be our chief. That is really what any guide, any shepherd, any any, we are to cause you to behold the Most High in action and in word, right? That you you know what I'm saying? Behold, show, reveal. And that's what me and my brother, aim to be when we come before you. We claim or aim to behold, to show who, you know, you know, Yod Hey, Wav Hey, you know what I'm saying? Uh the one who is, first and the last, the one who is immovable, the one who is mighty waters, let's see here. Where is that? Yod Hey Wah. Is that it? Yod Hey Wah.
That's it. That's it. Wow. Wow. Huh? There it is.
That's his
Yah,
name, right? Right.
Yah, Wahe.
The nail, the peg, the hook, you know, he's the foundation. He's the one to hold us down. That's what hold us down. That's what keep us from going to and fro. When we like to do worldly things sometime or something, or show off worldly characteristics. You know, we cleave to the peg, to the nail, to the hook, the one who secures to his unchanging hand.
Make secure.
You
It
know,
says joining together, becoming bound. There you go. Nailed too.
we are bound by him. That's what Hamashiach. I mean, that's what Paul said. He was bound by Hamashiach, man. You know, bound to go out and do the works, to give the testimony. Man was sitting in prison talking about it. He said, I'm bound by him too enough. You know, I'm in bonds, but I'm even more in bonds to the Most High. Why he's still doing the work? Why he's still writing letters? You know, many of us got personal stuff going on in our life that the average person will probably veer off. They would go to the right or to the left. But we say, no, we gonna cleave, you know, to the peg, to the hook. We gonna be joined together with him.
That right there is a sign as Yakub. I want to bring this out as well. Yakub was wrestling with the Malak, man, and you know, the Malak touched his side and his joint went out of place, but instead of letting go, lean to the left or right. So proverbially, he didn't lean to the left or right. He stayed with it. I ain't letting you go till you barak me. And he got baruched. He held on. He was, and that right there changed his name to Yasha'ah. You know what I mean? Yep, sure right. Sure right. There you go, man. In life, man, we'll go through things. But see, sometimes it's about perspective. You have to have your perspective right. And in order to have your perspective right, y'all would have to do a new working in your whole mindset, in your whole ruach. And you have to be a pure heart got to be in you. A right ruach got to be within you. Because if you don't see it, if you don't see it in the right perspective, it can lead you off. Like say people be having certain things going in. And I'm not talking about a person that brought problems upon their own self. I'm talking about just life, just because you received the word of Yah and you made a conscientious decision to serve Yah wholeheartedly. So now testing is coming about. So it's going to prove to see if you really about that life like you say you are, right? And that comes with it. That's what the word of Yah tells us. And that sometimes we tend to forget these things. So we need reminders. And that's what the Ruach HaKodesh does. It brings back to your remembrance things that was said, that Mashiach spoke, the word of Yah as you study and you receive as you take your time to spend time in the presence of the Most High by eating that word, by studying and showing yourself approved. When you go on in life and these testing and things come about, it can bring to your remembrance what the word of Yah has said to you by your study. Now you have something to fight with and you can stand because you have an expectation knowing what Yah is going to do for you. So you don't have to waver. You don't have to lean to the left or the right. You can stand forward and keep pushing. Despite what coming against you, despite what winds are blowing against you, you're gonna stand because your foundation is solid. Because you built your house is built upon that solid rock, so it don't matter what people saying. Them winds, it take wind to speak. Without breath, a person can't speak nothing. That's why a dead person is dead, because they inactive, because they ain't got no breath. And you can look at that. You can look at that in the Ruach, and he says, "Go ahead, Ak. I ain't gonna go ahead. Go ahead, Thunder."
Yeah, go ahead, finish your thought.
You know, people will say this or say that about you. That's winds. What you gonna let that wind throw you here, throw you there? No, you're gonna stand firm because your house is built on that rock. Even if they don't see it, it don't matter. You're gonna stand there. Now, what we do as brothers, look, we try to reason with people to give them the information of why. You know, we didn't come to the conclusion of what we come to based on our own understanding of a thing. No. So if anybody thinking that, they lean into their own understanding, we can prove it. You want to have a conversation with us to find out? We can do that. We can reason together.
Hey, most definitely, please.
Absolutely, we can reason together and clearly prove to you why. You know, not leaning to their own understanding of thing. Now, that's the whole thing about it. Stand firm in truth, man. But how would you know it's truth if you never experienced? A lot of people haven't been through nothing to experience to have a testimony about their experiences that they had going through life and holding fast to the truth of what the word Yah say to show forth if it's true or not. We've been through a lot of things. Been through a lot of things. People would be like, wouldn't even imagine. They'd be like, wow. If you were to tell your full testimony, I'm sure. You know.
Yeah.
You know. So just hold fast to the truth, man. But you have to study to show yourself approved. I mean, if you don't apply these informational instructions, how would you ever arrive to the desired end if you don't apply? But in order to apply, you first have to go after. You first have to know it first. That's why you have to study to show yourself approved. It didn't say just read or mimic or parakeet, what you heard. No, you have to study. You have to give your time over to study. And it's the reason why you're giving your time over to study. You're not giving your time over to study to try to prove somebody wrong. You're giving your time over to study so you can live. This is what I do. I do it because I want to live. I don't want to be deceived by no one. So I study. I give myself over to that. I ain't gonna let no man deceive me. I don't care who they are. That don't mean I have to like bluntly disrespect them or anything. What I'm saying is, just because a person tell me something, I'm not gonna. Now, if they tell me something, they say this is what it is. You know what I do? What a wise person would do? They would study how to answer. They would study it. They would go after and find out if that thing is true or not. Then they would have an answer to respond to what they heard. And that's what we should be. That's what we should all do. Somebody come and bring you something that's contrary to what you think or what you have or what you know at the moment. Don't be afraid, because truth is gonna always be the same. It ain't gonna change. Truth ain't gonna change. That's one thing you should know about that, baby. Is truth is gonna always be there. It's gonna always be. It ain't gonna change. So if what you standing on is truth, as you do your study and your research, you should come to that same spot that it's gonna be true. Now, if what you got is shaky and it ain't true, when truth come and you go and study true and you find out that what you have is not true, the best thing for you to do is abandon ship of that and hold fast to that which is true. Prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. Now, truth is good. So hold fast to that which is true. Right? So these are for people who was listening and who will listen and get on here. Listen to these instructions now. This is for you. Okay. And don't be surprised if you find out that what you've been having is not true. And the people that's around you been following stuff that's not true. What you gonna do then? Are you gonna be a man pleaser? Or are you gonna be a Yah pleaser? Now you're faced with a decision to make. Either you're gonna serve Yah or you're gonna serve man. The best bet would be to serve Yah, because men ain't got no kingdom. They ain't got no kingdom to put you in. They can't even put you in Sheol. They can't even kill you unless the Most High Yah say so. So the Most High Yah, who is the shot caller, shout out to Elder Zakon Yakazaka, Ezekiel, Hezekiah. I mean, he said, he was saying something like that. I believe he said that on the men's prayer call yesterday. The Yah is the shot caller. Yahweh is the shot caller, man. So that's the one that you ought to reverence. Not man, but a lot of people here is man pleasers because, looking for position, prestige, and all this different thing. That ain't about nothing, man. Because when it coming down, when y'all come to bring that wrath upon the children of disobedience, and you happen to be in that capacity of disobedience, man, your name title ain't gonna mean you nothing. Your finances that you were serving man for ain't gonna mean nothing. You can't bribe Abba. It's over with. Once he put that smack down on you, when he decided that time is enough is enough. Hey, man, the best bet is to go after Yah wholeheartedly right now, man, and make sure that what you have is solid. So Yah will allow these things. I mean, don't nothing happen on this earth unless Yah give his consent. So Yah be allowing these things to happen and see, are you standing on solid? Are you standing on solid ground, or are you shaky? We see that with the parable of the sower of the seed. Go ahead, I
want to say something, man. Don't be dismayed if you find out you the shaky one. Because Yah's too for even on you that early. Just correct what needs to be correct to get back on track. All that old boohoo stuff, man. Listen, man, we come from a real tough people, man. A real tough people. Granted, a lot of them was, sinful and hard-hearted, stiff-necked and all this stuff, man. But they was tough. It wasn't no wimps, man. The mother and 7 sons, man, that woman sat and watched her sons tortured, man, and it didn't say she cried out not one time. That's a certain toughness that come from true belief.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can only hope to have such a, heart and mind, man, if, something like that was to happen to, to my family. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we should stop being afraid of the unknown, because people say all the time, y'all has not given us a spirit of fear. Yeah, not giving us a spirit of fear. But yet you be scared to do a whole bunch of stuff and you think it don't apply to that. Nah, I ain't talking about that. He ain't talking about that. Yes, he is. Now certain things you shouldn't be doing, we get that. Okay. But certain things you should be doing that you are fearful of doing, of stepping out and trying something. That's the fear. Especially if you are being bidden to do it by him. If everything in your life is pointing towards doing this thing and you won't do it, you fearful. Ain't no getting around it. You can try to dress it up and all this whole stuff. But listen, man, we got to test him. We got to test him, man. And don't be surprised when you the weak link in something, and don't be surprised when others is the weak link or something. Don't be out of mind of, oh, never. It ain't never gonna be this person. It ain't never gonna be my pastor. My pastor would never. Listen, man, you're not with folks 24/7. You don't know what people doing. Everybody is in the battle of Tube and Rasha, man. Good and evil. Okay? And it's like everybody not winning all the time. Hamashiach told Peter, he said, when you fall. He just said, if. No, when. He gonna get you. He gotta get you a couple times for you to know who he is and for you to be strengthened against them. You might full well be in communion with somebody, married with somebody that's desperately losing their battle with good and evil. Losing it. They might not even be aware that they lose. Your pastor might be losing it every day. He been preaching to y'all wrongly for 20, 30 years. You don't even realize. My question to you is, how long you gonna be participating? It's one thing for another person to be disillusioned and to be stubborn and to be, these negative characteristics. But how long you gotta participate? We telling you, search, be diligent in your own studies and your own things, that you won't be devoured. That if you fall, that you be strengthened. And then you turn and you take that strength and you try to share it with your brethren. But don't be surprised if they don't take it. And give all honor and esteem to the Most High Yah when they do. Right? Don't be thinking stuff is fixed because, we in the truth. And this is my brother, this is my sister, this is my wife, this is my husband. Man, listen, man. People fall all the time. People wake up one day and say, you know what? I've been going right all this time. Now I'm going left. Or I've been going left all this time and I'm going to go right. You never know what side it's going to be on. You just need to be prepared to stand against those winds my brother's talking about, against the negativity. Because as he said earlier too, things could be to the positive or it could be to the negative. Those same negative winds of the adversary, you got to cleave on to the positive winds of the Most High when he breathes life, instruction, discipline.
That's right.
With some of that, get some of that in you.
That's right.
Okay? Instead of being tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine, being deceiving and being deceived.
Mm-hmm.
You need to learn to block that, get defense against that. Where you get that from? Studying to show thyself approved, diligently seeking.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Akbi, also you say that shield of Emunah, which will block all the fiery darts of the wicked one. But this is the thing: how do you arrive to get Emunah, what people call faith? You have to hear the words first. And then, people heard a lot of things, but you have to study to show yourself approved to make sure that the words are correct, that you have that right Emunah, so you can block all the shields of the, shield yourself from all the fiery darts of the wicked one. So these instructions are there to instruct. See, the stuff that was, like he said, the stuff that was written aforetime was written for our learning. We see with our ancestors in the wilderness, the Most High word is powerful when it's properly applied. Now, it wasn't that the word was ineffective. It was due to the defect of the people that caused it to be ineffective, because they didn't properly apply it. First of all, they didn't trust it to even walk in it for it to manifest what it was supposed to do. That's why it was ineffective, because it wasn't the word that was ineffective. It was the people's disbelief that caused it to be ineffective. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing with today, with the instruction that we have today in this present time, with the instruction that the Most High Yah has given for us to do, and people are failing to apply those instructions of what Yah told us to do in order to come to the end that the Most High required for us to come to arrive to, because the people are not properly applying it. But then when situations happen, they want to cry out, but they crying out due to the fact that they ignoring the instruction that they heard. See, that's the defect in itself. It's like, bro, we got to get out of that right there. You got to get out of that, because that right there don't bring life. It only brings destruction. That only brings harm, because it's not helping you in. So it's a stubbornness. You got that stubbornness is working against you. So we talking about the Most High Yah being against our enemies. Well, you can be your worst enemy. So the Most High can be against you because of that stubborn mindset, that rebellious mindset, that heart. That right there is an enemy. Get that enemy out. Fight against that enemy. If you are indeed free, and people say, I'm free in Mashiach. Well, if you're free in Messiah, that means that when that enemy arrives in you to get you to try to do something contrary to the instruction that Yah has given, you need to fight against that. Meaning you need to fight against yourself. Quit pointing fingers outside and start pointing inside and fight against that enemy of self. The enemy of self, fight against that. That's contrary. You don't have to be subject to that enemy that's rising up in you. You can fight if indeed you didn't filled yourself up, and if indeed you have your lamp and you have your lamp filled with oil, you can see these things, so you can fight against it. You can't fight against an enemy who you can't see if you don't have you need the proper things to fight. You need the proper things to see. You need the proper things. People don't go out there fighting. You shouldn't go out there fighting blindly, just beating in the air. What that ain't gonna do nothing. You can get knocked out like that. You coming in there with eyes closed.
Call for war.
Right, you running out there with your eyes closed, swinging. A person looking at you, the being looking at you, coming in there swinging. He stepped to the side and boop, lay you out. Because you ain't watching. You got to be watching. Yah's giving us these words, these instructions for us to dive in to get, so we can have something, so we can be equipped, like the book of Ephesians speaks about. It speaks about standing in the, being strong in Yahweh and the power of His might, and also standing and putting on the whole armor of Yah to fight against, these enemies. The battle that we're engaged in against the principalities of darkness, against the rulers of darkness and powers and principalities and rulers of darkness in high places, to fight against these things, these elements, these elemental things. We can fight against these things, but we have to fully equip ourselves with what Yah has given us so we can properly fight. And another enemy that we have amongst ourselves that is doing a bunch of damage is ignorance. That's an enemy. Ignorance is an enemy. So you have to first, I believe it's First Peter. If you would do me a favor, I'll go to that real quick, man. So I want to share this because this is what's needed. I'm gonna put people in remembrance of this right here as well. Go to First Peter. Okay, so tell me, can you hear me? I'm going to put my phone on this charger. Can you hear me?
I hear you. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, bring up the script. We're going to read this real quick. It says, Peter, Kepha, apostle of Yahushua HaMashiach, to strangers scattered through Pontus, Galatia. We know what he's talking about. We want to get to the meat of the matter. Elect according to the foreknowledge of our Lord, of all the Father, right? So reading all that, I want to get to the meat of the thing, right? He's basically, Peter is talking to these people, telling them that this is an inheritance, incorruptible, undefiled, that faded away, reserved in Shemai for you. Okay, hold on, let's go for, I believe it's matter of fact, that's not it. That's not it. Go to second. I don't think that's it. That's I think I did that wrong. It's second. Go to 2 Peter 1. Huh?
I got you.
Yeah. Let me take our time on this one, man. I get off of that. Okay, babe, I got you. Okay, so 2 Peter 1 speaking about according. Okay, we talking about actually tap this thing right here.
I think it's 5 and 6.
It's 5, yeah, 5 and 6. So it says, whereby it says, given exceeding. It's talking about the promises starting in 2 Peter 1 and 4. Though it says, whereby we are given exceeding great and precious promises, that by these you might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. And beside this, given all diligence, add to your emunah virtue. That's a moral excellence, right? Add to virtue knowledge. You add knowledge. That's knowing what Yah's will is, what to do, what not to do, all these things. That's knowledge. They have to do with knowledge. Ignorance is an enemy of us, right? And when you add to the knowledge, you add temperance. That's self-control, because being out of control is also an enemy. And the temperance, patience, long suffering, because being hasty is an enemy as well, because it can cause us to move. We see what happened with Shaul, King Shaul, when he didn't wait for the man of Yah, when the man of Yah told him to wait for a specific time, but he decided to move on his own understanding based on what he saw, and it caused him to miss out. So that was an enemy. It says add to patience, reverence. That's what people call Yahliness, but they say God. That's reverence. That's piety, which is reverence, a high respect. Then add to that brotherly kindness. Then you add to brotherly kindness a haba. Then it goes on. These are the instructions. Listen for today. For if these things be in you and abound, they make that you should neither be barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of Adon Yahushua HaMashiach. But he that lacketh these things, it giving you instruction, is telling you the flip side to it. But he that lacketh these things is blind and cannot see afar off, and have forgotten that he was purged from his old sins. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence. There go that word diligence again. Give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, you shall never fall. It's a lot engrafted in that. It's a lot in that, because we know that knowledge. When you come to knowledge, you got to get the knowledge. We know that, learning what Yah's will is, what his commandments, what his instructions is, what he say to do, what he say how to do it, what not to do, what you can't. All this stuff is inclusive with knowledge as well. So but you, in order to get that, you have to be diligent in your study, and you're going after Yah. But if you do all this stuff in the full, according to the instructions that's given there, you would never fall. And it also said, go back. Okay, steady, earnestly, diligence. Yeah, steady, earnest, energetic effort, devoted, and painstaking work and application to accomplish an undertaking. It is,
that diligently seek him. That's how
those that diligently seek him.
The characteristics.
Absolutely. Now I go back to that letter that's written, because I want to hit this point too. It says, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, you shall never fall. Then it goes on to tell, here go a promise. For if so, it says, for so an inheritance shall be ministered unto you abundantly into the everlasting.
Entrance.
I'm sorry, Yeshalaki. For so an entrance, my bad, inheritance, which is also inheritance. Yeah. For so an entrance shall be ministered unto you abundantly into the everlasting kingdom of our Adon and Savior Yahushua HaMashiach. That's a promise. Now, Kafir was just speaking about a promise. We receive precious promises. Here go one of the precious promises, that if you do these things, what will be done unto you? For so an entrance, You
get into the kingdom. And that's what we're trying to go. Exactly.
It says for an entrance will be ministered unto you abundantly, not scarcely, but abundantly into the everlasting kingdom.
We gonna stay on you about it. He tell you down here in verse 12. He says, I'm gonna keep on telling you.
Go ahead. Wherefore I would not
be negligent to put you always in remembrance of these things.
Not sometimes.
Though you know him, I'm still gonna tell you.
Right. and be established in the present truth. Yeah, I think he was telling you that, that this is what it was going to be ministered to the people. So you got to make sure that you're doing these things, and it get broken down in tidbits. It's just like, okay, we got a whole meal. Okay, we know that the people is not ready to receive this meal like this. Let's break it up in pieces and portions so they can receive it, that they can eat, so they can be nourished. All right, that's like a babe, because we know that's what you got to do to babes. Babes not able to partake in meat, so you got to break the meat up in pieces, are chewable, and make it where they can intake it. Whatever it is, bread or whatever. We know babes can't eat like that. You know, babes are still stuck on, you know, the
milk.
Not just that, they on the milk, they on, you know, repentance from dead works, and, you know, Mashiach coming through and dying and resurrected for you, you know, and that you can have a way to the Father to, you know, these are, that's babe. That's the beginning of the
book.
Right. That's the beginning. You got to go past that. Because if you don't go past that, you can't be a babe forever. Now you can be a babe like in mine, but all that is saying is that you've been stagnant. You ain't grew. You've been stagnant. If you're being stagnant as a grown up, being in this thing like this, bro, you're not gonna make it. And that's just I'm not trying to be mean or nothing like that. I'm just being honest. You're not gonna make it because you're being stagnant. Y'all didn't create us to be stagnant. We see that even in life itself. The natural things will help you understand the Ruachni aspect, are what people call the spiritual things. When a baby is born, come out as an infant, and that baby don't remain an infant. That baby grow as a toddler, and as a toddler it grows on to an adolescent to an adult. We see the stages of life. It's the same thing with being in Yah. We're not to be stagnant. We're to grow on. We're to grow. Yah has provided things for us to help us in that growth, that we can come into the unity of the emunah, of the trust that's based off Yah's truth. And by that, it's going to unify us as a people. See, that's the thing. That's the problem why we're not seeing our people coming together today as a whole, because, you know, we're not unified in Yah's truth. We have what we think is, and so we're not able to. Man, this stuff been going on for years, bro. That was I believe Yoshi Daoud from Ark Remnant. Man, we had a conversation years back where we was in Texas. And we was talking about, you know, everybody coming together, even these leaders coming together and sitting down and bringing it. But he was like, you know, it was said amongst us that, you know, people are not going to do that because people got their own interest. They got their own motive, you know. And somebody was speaking about this same fact about, you know, people, you know, you'll hear people say these are the Most High's people, but they really taking it as if they're his people, they're their people. You know, I'm not, you know, my people. No, these are Yah. If they're Yah's people, they're Yah's people. We should be to a point where, now this is the thing. Let me take my time in doing this. So I'm gonna take my time in saying this. True, we have people that are babes, and there are people that are put in place to help those to ward off the enemy from those that don't have that capacity to fight off for themselves at the present time that they're in. So those people have to be connected to those that are strong, that can help them, that can be a strong defense to help those people that don't have that as of yet. But see, what those people that are in that mindset should do is making every effort to, when the word of Yah is going forth, for them to really take the time out to go after and study and getting it in themselves so they can be equipped. You know what I mean? How can you have a shield of Amunah if you ain't got none? If you ain't got no, first of all, like I said, Amunah comes by hearing and hearing the word of Yah. So you have to put yourself in a position where you can hear the word of Yah so that you can be built up in your Amunah, so you can have that shield that will be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked one when they're thrown at you. You know what I mean? And you won't be able to be persuaded from every wind of doctrine that's coming against you, because you have went forth and solidified. You have went forth and made yourself strong, fortified yourself in the truth. Now, we as a people have been saying, you know, we in the truth. And sometimes when that truth stand under scrutiny, you find out that sometimes it don't even be that
you in lies. Tell it like it is.
You in lies. What I was gonna say, what my process was that sometimes people don't be sometimes somebody might come against someone that's more advanced, and what they saying, and based off their articulation of how they speak, it can persuade them from what they saying, you know what I mean, with what they try to prove, you know, and have them off guard. And so it's like, oh, they, oh, well, maybe that is true because what it is that you wasn't, you wasn't ready to go against whoever you wasn't ready for that because you haven't really studied on that capacity what they're talking about, you know. But what your best interest would be is that when somebody brings something to you that you're not, like we said earlier, here go another reminder, is to go after and study these things. Some people feel like, oh, it ain't, I don't need to do all that. Yes, you do. Because how do you know? Because it could be that what they're bringing is true, but you have to go and do your due diligence and seek Yah. I heard a sister, a beloved Alma, was saying something where she be, sharing things that she was revealed or sharing things that she believed or whatever, according to the word, and somebody may bring something that's contrary to what she teach or share. Instead of her just knocking it down, she seek Abba Yah always in it, saying, Yah, is these what this person saying is true? And they seeking Yah about it instead of just blunt out, just casting it down. Now there's some things that just obvious, you can obviously like, nah, that ain't it. You know what I mean? Just cast down, But there's some things that's more advanced, that's more crafty, that you're gonna have to be on point with Yah in the Ruach to go against. You know what I mean? That if you don't have that you can be a casualty, bro. And that's just being honest, So it's like you got to really build yourself up in your most Kadash Emunah, man, to stand against the evil day in its evil time, bro, because it's like it's so much stuff going on. As people saying these different things is coming forth that's not, you got to go after the Most High Yah. Just make sure you have your heart pure and going after Yah. That's basically what I'm saying. That's the board. That's the come down to the come down. Just go after Yah. Make sure that what you're hearing is true and that what you have is true. You got to make sure that you make your election and calling sure that even that is based off of truth and not something that you may have that's contaminated, that's not of the pure, true word of the Most High Yah. Just make sure you do your due diligence in all areas. That's what you want to do. And Yah is here to aid you on that. That's what he wants you to do. That's what he wants you to be. He's going to show himself mighty on your behalf because you trust in him and you're going after him to show you these things. So I hope I didn't speak too fast or too, over the head. So I applaud that the Most High Yah will help whoever, is in need of what's being said. With that, I yield out. Go ahead, my brother. I didn't mean to be on no tangent.
Oh man, you did a great job, man. Did a great job. Listen, let them use you, as we say. Shout out to Reggie Kodesh. She said, grow into the fullness of Yahushua Mashiach.
That's
and
right.
just like how, we use the Hebrew chart and all that. All right, we got to understand too. Got to understand that all these Hebrew words mean something. Shout out to my sis Zakaria Zamar. She say all the time, words mean things. Which we know this, but it's kind of a thing to just hearken on it to like bring into your remembrance. Hey, this means something. Yahusha, Yah saves, Yah salvation, the Most High salvation. So grow into the fullness of Yah's salvation. What is his salvation? That man might be upright like he created them to be, that they might return to their uprightness. They've been the prodigal son. They've gone off into a crooked way. They've gone off and squandered their inheritance. Might they return, right? When you come back to your father's house, you got to abide by your father's rules, man. What you think? You'll come to his house and live by your own rules? You crazy? And that's what we got to understand today. Our Father got rules. And what we are doing is we are getting more and more daily acquainted with his rules and his purpose for our lives, because this ain't like times before where he's speaking with prophets with visions and all these things, like appearing to them and all this stuff, and like taking people up to the third heaven. Granted, you got people saying that. You got people saying they doing all this stuff, man. But listen, man, to be honest with you, they not really coming back with no information. Just hitting on that. I don't know nobody that is. Maybe they is out there, you know what I'm saying? I don't know of it. You know what I'm saying? So how he is revealing is through this diligence and through confirmation of things from different sources that seemingly wouldn't have anything to do with each other. You start to finally see the relevance, and that sight, that seeing a thing, can only come from the Most High Yah, right? He's giving you ears that see, and you're able to hear stuff and understand stuff. He's giving you ears that hear. You know, this is the revelations in which it's really hard to get people to understand unless they are on the same path or have been through the same things. I could speak scripture to you, but if you ain't read them scriptures before, you're gonna either have to act like you believe. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. You know how them people be acting like they know something they don't be knowing. They be like, yeah, Then you be like, what it mean then? They be like, you don't know. You don't know. You just faking. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? So with Yah, it don't work like that. You know, you can, but when people that know better come around, they gonna laugh at you. They gonna know that you don't really know what you're talking about. You really just this, that, and the third. But when it's Yah, it's able to be confirmed in so many different ways. You know, that it's undeniable. That's what truth is. It's really undeniable to a person who's really seeking truth. Now, if you're just a person that's, deceiving and being deceived, you can deny it all you want to, because that's just what you do. You're a denier of truth. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a person who's seeking truth, that's seeking Yah, that thing is going to be shown to you, right? Because he has promised to reveal to those that diligently seek him. So he's going to give it to it if you're looking. You know what I'm saying? So
when you look,
we have to start putting things in context when we say them. When we say the mind of Christ, what are you saying? People just be saying stuff because it's catchy. What does it mean? What was his mind? What was it? Not my will, but thy will be done. That was his mind. That he should go and give himself. He should lay down his life for who? For his brethren. That was his mind. So you say, I got the mind of Christ. But you ain't talking about the Most High's will. You talking about yours. And you ain't talking about saving your brother. You talking about saving yourself. So how you got the mind of Christ? How you got the mind of Mashiach? How do you? It's Mashiach is the appointed savior of a nation. Who you saving? Are you saving your family? Are you saving your brethren? Who you got to be saving somebody? You got to be redeeming somebody from a fiery furnace, from captivity, from bondage. Who you redeeming? Who you saving? You got the mind of Christ. You got the mind of Mashiach.
Kinsman redeemer. Oh no, I'm just with you. Kinsman redeemer. Kinsman
redeemer. Who you redeeming? See, we got to understand this stuff means something. And when we say it, we gotta be it. A lot of people just saying stuff. And that's what make it hard for me, for my brother, I'm sure, to get behind certain movements, get behind certain things. Because when we see the scripture, we see it like this. When we see Yahushua, we see our salvation. He submitted himself. He submitted himself even unto death. He persevered. He did everything. You know what I'm saying? That's how we see scripture. Other people might be like, yeah, Yahushua, he died for my sins. Yeah. Man, if you don't go somewhere with that head start, kindergarten stuff you got going on. Now, granted, to the babes, you give babe like things, but this is the problem. Y'all not calling yourselves babes. Y'all out here calling yourselves mores and all this old stuff, man. You out here with the baby food out here, man.
That is true. It's true. That is true. You ain't never lying. They not calling themselves babes. You calling yourself more. You saying you're not a babe. You saying you on meat and you're able to give that and share a meal with others. Yep, you are absolutely correct, Doc. Wow, that's right.
And it's like that's why. Listen, when I say this, I'm not giving myself any credit, man. I'm a 8th grade dropout, man. I was a whoremonger. I was a slothful one. I was, a liar, cheater. I sold poison to my people. I put people in bondage and all this old stuff, man. Listen, anything I know, anything I become is not of me. It's all honor and esteem to the Most High Yah, and it's by Him by which I have any understanding, any knowledge, any wisdom at all. But when we talk about the baby food and stuff, man, it's like, man, You can't get this off on people who didn't put the work in. You can't get this off on people who diligently sought. It's like, man, it's like the Baal prophets. You know, you wonder why you know, Isaiah talked to him how he did. Why he laughed at, why he mocked him. It's like, man, this is silly.
Go First Corinthians 1-26 real quick. Let me show you, because you pointed out something that I want to help people if they get into the mindset of saying, oh, he ain't a great dropout. I sure was too. They was doing the what's they call that? The no student son left behind, something like that. But you're gonna see on First Corinthians.
Let me go. Let me go to this real quick since we ain't gonna do that. A lot going on. Okay.
This is how the Most High chose. He didn't choose people like that. In these last times we see what the Most High done. He chose the foolish things of the world, or what people make seem foolish, to confound those that claim to be wise. 1 Corinthians 1, and I think we can start at 26, so we can read into it in context of it right here.
All right, where you want to start at?
Yeah, so 26 says, for you see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble born are called, but Yah has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and Yah has chosen the weak things of the world to confound those things which are mighty, right? And base things of the world and things which are despised, Yah has chosen, the things which are not, to bring to naught things that are, that no flesh should esteem in his presence. What is that actually saying, man? We see that the Talmudim that was with Messiah at the time, they wasn't educated according to the education that the Pharisees and Sadducees had. We see that in the book of Acts when they was like, man, y'all, they must have been, how they know these things? They must have been with Messiah. They wasn't, they unlearned men. According to them, they was unlearned men. But Yah has chosen them to put to shame those people that was claiming to be wise in Yah's way. And then here go another thing. We can take it back to Dawood. Don't you know in Dawood's day, when Dawood, we know that he was anointed to be king. It was people that was despised and stuff like that came to be with David, became one of David's most strongest warriors in his group. And we see the same thing with the Messiah, how when he came to those people that wasn't wise or mighty or noble born, but yet they being around Messiah, the Yah made them to be wise, made them to be mighty, made them to be strong. And those that was claiming to be strong and mighty and wise at the time, he brought them to shame. So it's like the same thing today. Some people may not hear, but look, I tell you one thing: when the Ruach get to flowing and that wisdom get to going, and it comes out of vessels that people may not think is worthy, you can't fight against that wisdom that come forth, because you're gonna look like a straight fool. Because it's gonna be evident that wisdom, that's some wisdom right there. That's wisdom. Like, man, where they getting that at? That's Yah. Don't nobody take esteem on that's Yah. We ain't got nothing to do. The only thing we got to do is yield into the Most High Yah, like Mashiach did, because he spoke those things that his father said. He yielded to the will of the Father, and so do we. And that's our desire, and our heart's desire, to yield totally to Abba Yah, because that's what Big Brother showed us what to do. He is the way, and he showed us the way. I just wanted to share that.
Also be in you.
Absolutely. And this is for the win. But unfortunately, a lot of people can't see. They claim that they have light, but the light in them is darkness. And how great is that darkness? Because they claim to see. Now, we pray, but we continue to palau and ask Abba God to help the people to see. Because they might be one of the people that Yah has called blindness to happen to in part. Right? So all esteem to Abba Yah, may the Most High Yah help the people to see, man, that those that truly have a heart to go after the Most High Yah to be fully pleasing unto Him, which a lot of us are. May He give them the truth. May He cause them to see the real, see the truth. That when the truth come forth, even if it's in a way that they didn't not familiar with, that it disturbs them where they at, that they can't ignore it, that they finally give in, that the Most High be on them so tough that when they hear the truth, that they really just, that it really disturb them until they really go and do their due diligence. I'm praying that the Most High Yah will cause that to be upon them, that they can see that they can be helped and really receive the salvation of the Most High Yah, that we can come together as a people, as a unit. It's a point in time for all things, to be honest with you. It really is, man. It's a point. Sometimes we be trying to do things and it don't work. Why? Why don't it work? Because it ain't the time for it yet. It sound good, but it may not be the appointed time for it yet. We plant a seed. We can't be like, man, go out there the next day and be like, man, why that thing ain't grow up yet? I'm ready to eat. I'm ready to eat these watermelons. Like, no, bro. It's an appointed time for this thing to come about. But anyway, told you.
Hey, man. Oh, yeah. Y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me chewing, could you?
I can't hear you now.
But yeah, right here, man, it says, he that glorieth, let him glory in the Lord, or he that esteem, let him esteem in the my shop. It's like, in the master, it's like what he did, his characteristics brought him a certain degree of hardship, right? Lied on, cast down, counted as
despised,
nothing, as
right?
filth, despised, right? Likewise, that's what would happen to us for possessing these characteristics, for moving in certain types of ways, for speaking to truth against those that bring lies, by pointing to the true power over people who seeks to be seen as the true power, right? Them same things will happen. So it's like, if you're going to brag on something, if you're going to find importance in something, find importance in that, right? If you're going to esteem something, don't esteem your car, your houses, all this whole stuff. Esteem that, man. You know what? I'm going through this, man, because he went through this. He suffered, I'm suffering. But he inherited a promise. He was promised something as well. See? And he went and attained it. True enough, he had some power and authority before he came. When he left, he got even more. When he come back, he gonna have it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what our mindset have to be. We all have a certain degree of power or authority, right? Whether as a husband, as a father, as a business owner, or whatever. You ain't running 10 cities. You ain't running, you ain't got kings and queens or other nations doing your bidding. You know what I'm saying? These are the promises we hope to acquire, to have our enemies as our footstool. To have, the other nations under our beck and call, because we've been appointed to such an office by our diligence. See, if any man esteem yourself in that. Esteem that Yah is true and that he is just to keep his word when he's promised such things. Oh man, why I gotta keep on doing it? Why I gotta keep on putting on with it? Man, listen, if you're gonna esteem yourself in the master, right? No servant is greater than the master. He went through it, you gonna go through it. And I ain't saying it's easy. I'm not saying, please don't think I'm saying it's easy. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is to have a certain perspective, so that when those hard times come, you able to, cleave on just a little bit longer until you get to see the sunshine of the day. You know what I'm saying? Because those dark hours, that valley of death, hey man, listen, that thing ate up a lot of people. You know, doubt, temptation, frustration, depression. Listen, man, that thing ate up a lot of people. A lot of people then left and came back. You know, a lot of people have slipped and got back on track. So, you know, I would that you be the former. I mean the latter and not the former, right? Those that got back on track. So that's what we're here for, man. To truth, that's what we've been saying. That's what we call ourselves. That's what we try to live, man. Being your brothers, being your Akeem, being your strong defenses, even against yourself. Like they say, against all foreign, against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Listen, man, that's what we is, man. You know, not only cause we think it's a good idea, because we command it to be. Commanded to, because this is the characteristics of a Mashiach. Listen, man, this stuff ain't optional. A lot of people outside the gates or whatever, or outside of certain understandings, they feel it's optional and they talk about it like, yeah, you know, I ain't really with all that. You know what I'm saying? Well, listen, if that's the understanding y'all gave you, that's cool. But we don't see that nowhere in the book about this. You could choose to be a brother, a op, or not. On the Shabbat day, you ain't supposed to do no work, no heavy lifting. But if your brother's ass is in a ditch, you better get yourself up and go help him. That's how much you commanded to be your brother's helper and your brother's redeemer. Even if he your enemy, you don't even like this nigga, you wouldn't give this nigga nothing. You better go help her.
You better.
You better, if you know what's true for you. And you sit around and think this stuff is optional. That is a command straight from the Most High. That ain't Moshe saying it'll be a good idea if you see your enemy's ox in a ditch, you go help them. You know, you should. No. You must by all means go help. And
you should surely help him with it. If you would pass by, basically, if you would pass by him and wouldn't help him, you should surely help him with it. That you must. You better.
Telling you, man. And these are the kinds of things that's really, you know, I mean, I feel it's meat because our people so far from this mind. It may in a lot of situations be milk, but we have been destroyed in such a way, you know what? I take that back. I don't think it's milk, because this is something the Most High has always said that we've always had an issue with. You know, we've always had an issue with this compassion one for another and with this adherence to him and his word and his instruction. We've always had a problem with this. It seems like he's been trying to get us on the milk for the longest, or whatever you might call it. This is what he's been trying to tell us the entire time. And then we get to the point to where people say, well, I don't believe in the New Testament because it don't talk about the stuff the old stuff talk about. When in reality, it has really cut a lot of that stuff off, because you know what? You don't need to worry about none of that. You don't need to worry about feast days. You don't need to worry about fringes. You don't need to worry about none of this stuff. You need to worry about these fruits of the Ruach. You need to worry about these righteous characteristics. Because you know why? You ain't never had them. You ain't never worked on them. You ain't never perfected them. So you don't need to worry about. What need is the apostles telling you about feast days for? You don't know nothing about. What was we at here? That was Peter in the second Peter thing. You don't know nothing about this. What is good? What is you worried about feast days for? And you ain't got this down. You ain't read Isaiah 1 when he told you to wash you and make yourself clean. What is you worried about feast days? And you ain't learned nothing about, where is it at? You ain't you ain't got no diligence. You ain't got no amunah. You ain't got virtue. You ain't got knowledge. You ain't got temperance. You ain't got patience. You ain't got reverence. You ain't got brotherly kindness. You ain't got brotherly harbor. What is you worried about a feast day for? What is you worried about, Levitical precepts and stuff for? And ordinances of Levites and all this whole stuff. You don't even know. Most people don't even know who their daddy is or who their daddy's daddy is. And you got the nerve to lay claim on certain stuff, man. Listen, Paul said it. A lot of people take this and say, well, see, ain't no more Israelites. See, ain't no Jew or no Greek. He talking about the call to righteousness. It don't matter about you being no man. It don't matter about you being no woman. It don't matter about you being no Jew or no Greek. Everybody got to be righteous. But it's everybody got to come in by the door.
That's right.
And he who seeks to come in another way is a thief and a robber.
That's right.
That's what he talking about. Now it ain't no Israel no more. We all just in the body of Christ. Now, man, you better stop it. Them 12 gates got 12 names for a reason.
That's absolutely.
Hey, man, you better.
Hey, then this is another thing too. This is how you know people sometimes. That's the deception too of the enemy, which I was talking about earlier when my sister Uriah was on there speaking about things like how they misrepresent the word. Don't you know that when the strangers come and cleave onto whatever tribe they cleave onto, that's the tribe that they're gonna be represented as? Mashiach said when he was walking on the earth, he said, "Sheep I have that's not of this fold. This fold being of the house of Yasha'al, them I must bring." So these are people that's going to cleave. These are people that's going to be like Ruth, the Moabite, who was truly a Moabite. She wasn't of Israelite breed. She said, "Your people shall be my people, and your Alua shall be my Alua." When she was talking to her mother-in-law. See, people want to try to lie and twist the scriptures to try to make it seem like, oh, just to confirm their own personal doctrine of this is only for Israel. This is only for Yashar. She had to be of Israelite. But why would she say your people will be my people and your Alua will be my Alua if she was of that same people? You get me? The word right there clearly says it. So it's people that's going to cleave onto, meaning they're going to be just like Ruth. They're going to be like that. They're going to be saying, hey, your Alua is going to be our Alua and your people my people. Because you can't have our Alua without Ahab and his people. You see that even in the natural. A person that's in a sound mind, let's say a woman that has children, and I'm just using this as an example. If a man want to be with that woman, that man have to accept her children as well. I'm just using that as an example. You can't say, I want you, but I don't want your children. You can't have me either. But on a righteous level, when it comes to Abba, him being the father, you can't, the nations can't come in, and they got to come in through the seed. And when they come in, they can't come in and be like, we just want the father. We ain't dealing with y'all. No, it don't work like that. So them that love Yah, you must also love his children. You have to. So it's about righteousness. I heard something in the background that said true. I ain't crazy, y'all. I just heard something say true. I ain't even, I'm here. Bobo here with me. We got Bobo back. And follow Bobo. But I want y'all to see that, man. Stay, don't let people lie to you. But how would you know if you never tested to see if what they're saying is true or not, man? Like go in the scripture. It's easy to hear somebody say something and then you go in and you listening to that perception of what they saying and you're like, okay, I can see they can go with it. But go in there and read and get into it for yourself, man. Get in there and stay studied up. Get in there and you'll find out, man. You'll be surprised. I'm telling you, you'll be surprised. But all esteem the Most High Yah who give us these things, man. All right, where you at?
Minerat.
Okay. Yeah. So
she said, bring it out. I thank you for what y'all have brought out, and let him use you out.
Toda Yah. All esteem the Abba Yah and Mashiach Yahusha who gives us that ability, because it's only through Yahusha HaMashiach that we even able to know the Abba Yah. We couldn't on our own attempt. Can't nobody come to the Father on your own attempt. Nah, you can't go to your Father. It's only but through Mashiach Yahusha that you receive that favor in the first place from the Most High Yah, because he's the one interceding for you. He the one to say, yeah, I vouch for him. I'm with them. All right. You with them, he's praying for you, prolong for you, just like what I brought earlier today with Moshe, intervening on behalf of the children of Yashar. And because of him, because of Moshe, Yah, it was favor that was given to the Yashar where the Most High didn't destroy them because of what Moshe was, what he was. It was a somebody, and he was a foreshadow of Mashiach Yahusha, who was sitting at the right hand side of the Father right now, interceding for you and I right now. But see, the only thing that what's gonna secure us in that, if we indeed take heed to his words, that's what's gonna secure us. To the words and his revelation that he give, we're gonna be secure. And another thing I was gonna say too is that going through these things, because you walking in righteousness, because you walking according to the way that Mashiach showed us, don't focus on the uncomfortability of what it make you feel because it don't feel right. Are we being lied on, despised, or whatever? But look, focus on the promises that's yet to be revealed. That should make us excited. Like Todai Yah said, be glad, rejoice, for great is your reward in Shemayim. We haven't received that reward yet. But he said, great is your reward when you are persecuted for righteousness' sake, when men revile you and say all manner of evil because to you because of my name's sake. Rejoice, for so they did the prophets that was before you, for great is your reward. So that's communicating to us is to focus on the promises that Yah said. He said our reward is great. Now that because he said that, we don't have it yet, but we have an expectation of those things that are to come because we're going through it. And we're being obedient and standing. You know what I mean? Walking in what y'all say to walk in and doing these things. So now we can focus and we can rejoice. We can be glad. I know it make you feel sad for a moment, but then that's when the promises come in. And you be like, oh man, told her, yeah, I'm gonna keep going. You know, you ain't got to give in to depression. You ain't got to give in to sad. You ain't got to give in to all that. You can just focus on the promise, man. Even Mashiach despised. He counted it worthy. He wasn't tripping on the suffering that he had to. He looked forward to that was promised to him. You know, he counted worthy the Most High being the righteous judge. He committed himself to the hand of the Most High Yah. And Yah did what he done for him. He didn't even allow him to see corruption. He raised him up from the dead, gave him authority, power, and all these things yet. And when he come back, we're gonna see that manifested in full. I'm talking about like really in full, because we haven't seen the full fruition of it. We see a glimpse of, you know, certain things Yah doing in our lives and all that, but we talking about the full fruition of Yah's kingdom here on earth and everybody submitting to the king and also coming up to Jerusalem year after year, Shabbat after Shabbat, new month after new month. They're gonna all come up to to the king, to worship the king there in Jerusalem. This is prophecy. We don't see that yet, but it will be. Trust and believe that. I don't mean to go on a tangent. I may have went out, you know, I ain't trying to go too ahead of myself. I just want people to focus on when you're following Yah's way and you're applying Yah's truth according to the way that Yah say apply, and you're walking after the order of Melchizedek, walking after the order of the righteous king and following all righteousness and judgment, then great, your reward is set. And all you have to do is focus on the promises that the Most High Yah has spoken, because we know that Yah don't lie. So it don't matter what you're going through, the suffering that you're suffering or how you feeling. That's if indeed you're following righteousness now. Now, if you ain't following righteousness, you supposed to that's supposed to be on you. Tribulation and problems and woe and all that stuff supposed to be on the children of disobedience. But we're talking about the obedient now. The obedient, this is what's gonna happen. You know that's gonna happen because you know people ain't seeing it, people ain't getting it. You already trying to be helped. Continue to be a help to your brother. Continue to be a kinsman redeemer. Somebody's gonna get it. Somebody's gonna get it. Even if they don't, it don't matter. The Most High Yah is with you. And he already gave us precious promises that if we continue on that way, we're going to receive that Yah say we're going to have. And you can take that to the bank for real, for real. That won't ever bounce. That's going to always be. So that's why go ahead, Doc.
Man, I just got hit with something, man. Told y'all for this, man. You talked about the order of Melchizedek. Now, Melchizedek was what? What was it?
He was a priest and a king.
Hey, what kind of nation are we supposed to be?
We a kingdom of priests and kings and priests.
What does a king do?
A king rules.
What does a priest do?
A priest serves and ministers the things of the Most High Yah.
You see how we always harken on this king thing? And it's really kind of so very, you know, almost moronic, at least in the extent of outside of our households, right? Because in the households, that's your kingdom. You got that, right? But as far as a nation, as far as rulership outside of our households, we really don't have it in any degree, except maybe if you own your own company or something. Then, kingly type characteristics can be shown in that. But what can be shown at any moment, at any time, is the characteristics of a quote unquote priest or a Kohan. And it's like, man. And it's like, it shows you how we have really disregarded the greater things of Yah. Just like Jerusalem is Yah's portion, and us as a nation is his portion. Louis is his portion of all the tribes. Nobody want to talk about that. The Kohanim, they are the ones that ministers that serves. Not only does a Kohan minister and serves, he reveals. He's the Ha. He's the one who reveals and shows the things of Yah. This is how you do it. This is how you operate. Why Moshe from the Louis, what did he do to the people? He showed them the things of Yah, expounded upon them about the things of Yah. A foreshadowing of a Mashiach who came and did the same thing, that told you of Yah, that manifested Yah in the flesh. Not that he was Yah in the flesh, but he manifested his characteristics to the point, so strongly to the point he said, if you seen me, you seen him. Because I'm going to act like he going to act. I'm going to say what he going to say. I'm going to move how he would move. And the fact that we, as a nation of people, cleave so strongly to the king, but seem to just forget about the priest, says a lot. And all the characteristics that come with the Kohan. We don't esteem that. We esteem the kingly role. Because we think of orders, telling people, do this, do that. But we don't think of the servitude of the Kohan. The submissiveness of the Kohan. Not my will, but the Father. But then people turn around and say, they got the mind of Christ. They got the mind of Mashiach. How? He got the mind of a Kohan.
Sure do.
To be technical, he came more as a Kohan than he came as a king.
Sure
because
did.
the kingship gonna come later.
That's right.
The rulership, the 1,000-year reign, his reign. And that's when we gonna, oh man, told I y'all. When he get his kingship, we gonna get ours.
That's right.
But he came first and gave the priesthood, which we supposed to have ours, the ministry, the ministration, the servitude.
That's right. Absolutely.
But we rebuking that.
He's still doing it right now until the time he come back as the king. He sure was. He came as a lamb. He gave himself, raised up, presented the blood as the Kohan's supposed to do, as he entered into the true tabernacle, the heavenly tabernacle, which it still is. And he offered it up to the Most High, which is himself, and it covered us. You know, Kohan. He's the true Kohan. They got the kaf, the hand, open palm. That's work. He gave something. He gave security. He gave security by revealing it to the seed. Kohan. Kaf, Ua, Hey, Noon. He sure did. He gave security by revealing to the. But see, this is the thing. If you don't receive that security to apply what he giving you, you ain't gonna have none. That's why he told the people in Jerusalem. He said, "Oh, Jerusalem, how I wanted to gather your people as a hen does its chicks, but you would not. So your house is laid unto you desolate. If you only knew those things that was for your shalom." He came preaching shalom, but they didn't want to receive that shalom, which had to do with listening to what he was saying and applying what he's saying so you can receive that fullness. But since they rejected it, the only thing that's left, what's the opposite of shalom? War. It had to be. So he destroyed them. Y'all destroyed it. Sure did. That's how deep. This stuff is real, man. This stuff, y'all put this stuff is well put together. This ain't no making up some things, and this is all real, man. And for those that say that they got the Ruach HaKodesh and you can't see, maybe you can't see because you might not have like that, or yield and give in so you can see in full. Because sometimes we might be on I'm not gonna be mean. Sometimes we be on a level that we haven't reached it yet, or received it, I can see it yet until it be ministered. But as you meditate on the word of Yah, it'll be revealed to you. You'll see it. That's the Ruach of Yahweh working in you, because you didn't heard it, and Yah turn the light on for you. It clicks. They get the clicking in you. That life giving Ruach quickeneth you within understanding. Go ahead,
People light ain't on. See, that's why it don't matter what a heathen come out talking about the Romans invented the New Testament and invented Paul and all that. You can't listen. That stuff, it be convincing. I ain't gonna lie. That whole Romans invented Hamashiach thing. I'm not gonna lie, that thing, listen. What David said, I had well almost slipped. You know what I'm talking about? But it is that light that my brother's talking about that's been turned on, from reading certain things. That what I just said about Melchizedek, man. These heathens ain't got that to make that stretch like that, man. And then you can see it in life. You can see it in our people, that we really don't reverence the office of a Kohan, which is really what he gave to us to be. That's what he gave to those that he has been revealed to, or whom he revealed himself to. Not to go and be, kings. That the office of the Kohan really got more power than the king. People don't even understand that. The Kohan really do. The Kohan rule the king. Who you think the king looked to? And like we really just don't get it, don't see it, because we've been sold a bad bill of goods. And it's like, when you go through, like I said earlier, and you have this personal experience, and the scriptures become life to you, and you see the life in it, can't nobody come tell you nothing, man. Now people be like, oh man, this thing, I just can't get with that. That's man-made. And not listen, you, my brother, my sister, you been playing. You been faking to the point to where the Most High ain't showed you now. He ain't walked with you, or he's been, cause it says he pleads with his people. It says he stands at the door and he knocks, meaning he's putting forth his hand. He even said it. I put forth my hand all the day long to rebellious people. So basically, everything he's shown you ain't received. You ain't looked for, to the point to where you could look at this word and say it's man-made, say it's trash, say it's this. Anybody that talk like that, listen, man, they don't know nothing about nothing. I wouldn't believe. Look, if them people told me the sky is blue, I'd be like, hold on, no, that's not really blue. Really kind of like a whitish, whitish blue. Like I was saying, you got listen, man. Can't believe nothing these people said. It said they are liars and the truth ain't in them. You can't, man. Listen, this thing is life, brothers and sisters, and it got to become life to you. That in your hard times, in your desperate times, it lifts you up. That's one of the things about the Hebrew letter. Hold on, let me see. There was a Hebrew letter that talks about a camel rising out of the dust.
The gummo.
Yeah, I think that's it. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up for people.
The gummo. Some of my kinsmen, they call it the ga.
The gamo.
Gamo.
Yeah. A camel lifted up. This is one of the words of trial, man. Of a trial, not of judgment, of trial. at some point, if it's to the positive, man, the Most High gonna lift you up out of the dust, out of your bondage, out of your sin, out of your ignorance, your misunderstanding, and set you in the right place, on the right spot.
Hold on, wait. Hey, bro, you was saying stuff, and I was thinking in my mind. I said, because my shit, didn't he? You know, they say, you know, third there, but I was like, all right, go ahead. He said on the right. I'm not gonna do it. Go ahead. I got excited. I got a little too excited. Go ahead, brother.
You know, and it's like, bro, this is the thing, like what we speaking of about these characteristics. We see that it's so simple, people disregard it as, man, that ain't it. Man, come on, man, that's it. That's it. Oh, see, brother, we gotta do the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? Putting yourself on all this stuff. That's what Amashak said about how you putting all this weight and burdens on people, so they won't enter in. You ain't gonna enter in yourself. You ain't gonna do this stuff yourself. These brothers out here, man, now listen, they my kinsmen. You know, if nothing else, they desire, at least in their own understanding, which is dangerous, as we see, and hopefully in ignorance, they still desire to serve the Most High, right? Maybe it's in a wrong understanding of how to do that, but we see they embellishing on this kingship, rulership stuff, man, and it's even coming by way of believing to be doing it in a priestly way, right? They believe it in the servitude, the boots on the ground, the boots on the ground. But this is how Hasatan can come and deceive, you know, self-will and pride. You know, in the Gimel, you got to raise up out of that. Raise up out, like from the dust, lift it up out of the dust, lift it up out of the self-will and the pride, out of the ignorance. You know what I'm saying? And understand with these characteristics, like you said, about the kindness, the brotherly kindness, about the patience, about the knowledge, about all these things. Put that in there. See, that's the salt that's supposed to season to bring the flavor. That other stuff ain't flavor without that. That's how people be dead while let live, because the breath of life ain't in them. Yahoo, the breath. What is his breath? All them characteristics. Them characteristics that's gonna do what? That's gonna bring life.
That's right.
And I applaud that they have it. That if I lack any of it, that I have it, and they have it more abundantly, man. May it not even have no faucet on it. Just turn it on, leave it on. I want to have enough room to hold it. Let it overflow and seep down into the generations that come after me, until everybody I come across, let it seep on them. Like Peter said, listen, don't just put it on my head, put it on my whole body. I mean, put it on my hands and feet also. Put it everywhere I can get it at. Peter was cold for that. Is it? Don't just anoint my head, do my hands and feet also. Listen.
Masha had to basically rebuke him too on that too. He was like, man, look. He told him only just to hit, you know. He told him he didn't understand what he was doing at the time, but later on he will. So
yeah. Because he tried to tell him not to do it. He tried to act like he wasn't worthy or whatever. He said, man, listen, if I don't do this for you, you ain't gonna be able to get in. Right. If I don't minister to you,
so you can walk this thing right. So you can walk this thing right. Go ahead,
Are you rebuking the anointing of Yahusha? He said, let me perform this thing in you. This thing that you don't feel worthy of. You don't feel like, you need it, because you know who I am. You know what I can do or whatever. I mean, him. You know who he is, what he could do. And you feel this unworthiness, and you want to separate yourself from this duty, feeling unworthy. Are you running, Jonah? You know,
At a
you're not gonna
time,
be able to enter in.
at a time, it was. That's why he called him Kepha Bar Yona. That's why he was son of Jonah. Bar Yona. You know, Yona tried to run and from the thing, but he came back and he was converted and he did his thing. He was converted while he was in that dark state of being in that beast or in that well under the water, and then he, in his repentance, or whatever, he got placed back in the place that he was supposed to go be in initially, and that's the revelation of Yahusha calling Kepha Bar Yona, son of Jonah. So right.
Yeah.
It's deep, man. Y'all, everything that y'all do is purposeful. It all has purpose and all has meaning. Ain't nothing I'm talking about from one dot to from one yard to any tip. It all has meaning. It all has purpose. Like, and that's why I get with you when you were saying that when people talking about, this is man made, man, they ain't that bright. They ain't that bright. They ain't that bright now. Don't get it twisted. Now this stuff is deep, but it's made in such a way where you have to do your due diligence because the Ruach, will lead and guide you into all truth of it. Even if it is a misprint, he'll lead you to you know, where this is actually being said the way it's supposed to be said. He'll lead and guide you to it. Go ahead, huh?
Your wife said, "Can't keep running away."
Yeah. Baryona, yeah. He stood up, he came through and started doing his points, he started doing his thing. So, you know, there was a time, all this thing now, but y'all for this message coming forth, man. Y'all's told, man. Y'all's told, man. This stuff is deep. And that's a great point about the priest, the priestly, the code, the priestship, the priesthood being brought forth first, then afterward the kingship. You know what I mean? Because that's what he owned when he's right now. He's the high priest. People that say that they know Mashiach Yahusha, they know that he's the high priest right now, in the heavenly. And when he come back, he's gonna take off that priestly robe and put on that kingly robe, and he's going to war. You know, uh, he's gonna set. The kingdom is gonna be set up and everything straight and everything's gonna be good. He's gonna rebuke nations afar off. It's a lot of prophecies that's spoken in the book about what's gonna happen that hasn't came to fruition yet. Not yet, but it will.
Man, you know what's crazy too? It's like he want us to have what he got, man. That's why I say he he has not called us servants but brethren, man. It's like, listen, I'm coming in my priestly duties, I'm gonna make priests.
Mm-hmm.
When I come in my kingly duties, man, I'm gonna make kings, man, make you kings over cities, baby.
What he said. That's what he said. You gonna see? Yep. To them that overcome. Absolutely.
Man,
That
told I, y'all, man, that's just ooh wee.
that's
But
a
you know
big
what?
brother right there.
Not if you rebellious.
That's a
Not if you
fact.
stubborn, not if you in witchcraft. You know what I'm talking about? Just to bring it all the way, just to bring that thing all the way back. Bring it all the way back to the reason for the season right there.
That's right.
Witchcraft, rebellion, stubbornness. You know what I'm saying? Gotta cast these things far from us. Far from us. Because these characteristics, these traits cannot inherit the Malkuth of Yah. You know what I'm saying? Kingdom of the Most High. Can't inherit it, brethren.
That's right.
So yeah, man.
It's beautiful, man. Beautiful lesson, man. Beautiful things is being brought forth. It's been brought forth, man. Yah is told, man, and his Kasaka endures forever, man. For real, man. Told out Yah for Yahushua Mashiach, our big brother, man. Told everybody Yahweh, hallelujah, for all these things, man, and revealing these things. And I applaud that the Most High Yah will help our kinsmen, man, that we can, that people can see it. Anybody that really have a heart to really serve the Most High Yah truly and purely, may the Most High minister to them what they really need, and may they be of a sharp ear to hear, so that they can hear it, catch it, and apply it, what they heard, so that it can work what needs to be worked in their life. This stuff ain't gonna work unless we apply it. But in order to apply it, we have to hear it first, and we got to hear it correctly. And as we hear it correctly, we'll apply it. And when we apply it correctly, it's going to manifest what it said is going, what we can have in this life. And that's the problem with today. In today's time, a lot of our people don't apply what they hear. They don't apply correctly, and then wondering why when things be going a certain way, be wanting to cry out and not knowing why this stuff is happening. Like, man, you got to start applying these things, man. You got to start doing it and hold fast to that. If you're really about that life and this is what you really want, then you got to manifest that desire and show forth by your actions. Like, we can do it, bro. We can as a people. I'm talking when I say we, I'm talking about we as a people. We can hear the word of Yah in truth and search and seek to see if the thing is true. And when we find out it's true, we can walk and apply those things. We can make a conscientious decision and choice to follow after the ruach of what this is supposed to manifest in our lives, and not the carnal man, which brings death. We can make a choice to do that. You don't have to respond to things hastily. You can take your time, think, and choose Yah in every situation. You don't have to be a slave to the beggarly elements of this world. You don't have to be. Now you can choose to be, but there come consequences with that, you know?
Yeah.
So for people to know that, man, you can choose to do that. You don't have to be a defeated mind, a defeated being. You can be in triumph, but in order to walk in triumph, you have to apply that Yah has given us to be triumphant. That's the only way to do it. So let's not make no mistake about it. We got to hear the words of Yah, and as we hear, we have to apply it. And this is what we need to do as well. We have to seek Yah to comprehend what he's saying so that we can know it the way that he said, because it's no private interpretation of scripture. So we can know exactly what he's saying, so we can do it exactly the way he wanted to be done, like Mashiach did, and then we will receive the results that we need, man. And Yah will be with us always. Man, that's just true. So yeah, man. Toda Yah, man. All esteem to Abba Yahweh. The all of Alaim, man. Toda Rabbi Yahweh. Hallelujah.
Yeah. Well, man, I tell you what, man, you on your quote unquote on your priestly, man. On your Konimly, man. Just go ahead and pray us on out, man. Told out for everybody who tuned in. Shout out to everybody who's been riding with us. We've been on for a minute, 3.5 hours. Shout out to all the people that's new to the thing, because some people they've been in and out or whatever. Go back and check out the whole thing, man. The Abba has been tooled. It's a lot of gems dropped. This is not a lesson, and my brother tell you, you know what I'm saying? Um, for the most part. Now, I have done some planned strategic lessons on like certain points, but this was kind of like a freestyle, really. You know, I knew a lot of what would be brought out. It's kind of like a paragraph or whatever. I knew the heading. You know what I'm saying? The heading tells you about the rest of essay. You know what I'm saying? The what is the heading sentence or whatever? The main paragraph tells you about the rest of the essay. So I kind of knew most of that, you know what I'm saying? But everything else was just, you know, letting them use me, man, and us, you know what I'm saying? So I pray that this video might build what needs to be builded up and might tear down what needs to be torn down, as I pray about most of my videos, and and to be used by him to speak to those that he would have me to speak to, and to show those that he would have me to show things to, you know what I'm saying? So um I feel as if he has definitely done it, that he has um, allowed certain things to be said here and shown here that could definitely help us in our path of trying to get to him in his kingdom. So all honor and esteem to him. Thanks to his Ben Yahushua HaMashiach, you know, um, uh, the Kohan and the Malak, um, you know, Kohan first, Malak second, you know,
Yeah.
and that's all I got. So shalom, shalom.
Hallelujah. Shalom, family. Let us clear our hearts as we approach the throne of favor through Mashiach Yahusha. Hallelujah. Barakatah Abba Yahweh. Lahainu Malakah Ha'olam. Total Rabbah, Baruch to you, Father Yahweh, King and ruler of the universe, King of eternity. We thank you and we approach you, Abba Yahweh, in the name of the one that you have given us, Yahushua HaMashiach, your brought forth son, Abba Yahweh, your key. And we thank you that through him, Abba, we can walk through that door. We can walk in like manner as he walked, and that we can receive the promises as he received, because we move in the same capacity as he is. For you are not a respecter of persons. Total Rabbah Yahweh. We thank you for all you have done, Abba Yahweh. We ask you that the words that you have allowed us to speak, that people that hear Abba Yah, that you'll help those that have a desire to please you, Father, to get it. If it was something that was obscured, that you will remove all obscurity as they meditate, Abba Yahweh, upon you, and that you reveal the truth to them, Abba, in whatever level they're on right now, that they can move from Amunah to Amunah and from esteem to esteem, Abba Yahweh, as they move forward in you. And we thank you for ministering to us, and we thank you for our Kohan, Malak, and King, Abba Yahweh, Yahushua HaMashiach, and we thank you that we're able to receive these promises through him that you have ministered unto us. Thank you for the brother, Brandon, Abba Yahweh, and giving him the heart desire to do what he's doing as a brother, Father Yahweh, and we ask you that you would also Baruch him and his family and help them to move in ways that are pleasing to you at all times, Abba Yah, that you give him what he needs as he go forth and minister in that priestly role in Mashiach Yahusha, and that you do me as well, and all those that have a desire to do what's pleasing to you, Father Yahweh. As we leave today, Father, we ask you that you watch over us as we sleep, that you will minister to us even in our sleeps, Father Yahweh, as you speak to us, and as we rise up, as you continue, you allow us to rise up, Abba Yahweh, that we put you first in all things that we do, and that we do not yield to the flesh at any time, but that we always choose you at all times, because you have given us the ability to do so. And we thank you, Yah, that your will be done in our lives. May you watch over us and Baruch us and keep us and make your face shine upon us and give us shalom, Father Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, we thank you. Toda Rabbah Yahweh. Hallelujah.
So be it, Toda Rabbah. Hallelujah. So we're going to close out with this video, man. Shout out to my Ak Imanan Yasharala. He has a song called Chains Falling, and we pray and trust that any bondage that you are in, any captivity mentally, physically, spiritually that you are in, that it be shed and casted off of you. In Yahushua Mashiach's name, we say so be it. Toda Rabbah.
Hallelujah.
Until next time, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
He who the Son sets free is free indeed.
Chains falling, chains falling.
There is power in the name of Yahushua. In his blood, we are washed clean. The chains of bondage in the flesh hit the floor and no more.
In the name of
All praises to
Yahushua,
you.
there is power. In the name of Yahushua, there is power. In the name of Yahushua, break every chain. Break every chain. Break every chain. Heavy is the head that wears a crown. Covered by the Ruach, pull up in your town. Link up with your people, meet up with your elders. Talk about Torah, let's discuss these letters. We breaking bread on that other level. Fellowship can't be on no other levels. Valley of decisions, Jehoshaphat. Down into the waters, no turning back. 288 speed limit while I meditate. Anything that vex my spirit, segregate deep into the scriptures. Pay attention to what is shown. Endurance is the key to this race. I press on drummer, I press the button. Circumvent the gluttons, beauty for ashes. Gain the whole world, end up with nothing. And if you ain't trying to live by the holy scriptures, then it's gonna be hard to kick it with you. Set apart the mold. I hear the sound of falling chains. Yahuwah is a consuming fire, he make it rain. 100 jars, never tired, never burn out. Plus, obedience breaks generational curses. Chains broken, send rain to a thirsty land. Righteous rule with a sturdy hand. Giving all praises to Yahuwah, who set free the captives, made kings out of slaves, green pastures. There is power in the name of Yahushua, there is power. In the name of Yahushua, there is power. In the name of Yahushua, Yahushua, break every chain. Break every chain. Okay, once upon a time was a friend of mine till I found out that wasn't true. On the adventure of a lifetime, telling folks the truth. Line upon line, pushing lines I roll through. Death before dishonor, whole armor, just the sheep amidst the wolves. These are life and death moments, got the word played cool. Watch for the traps, your next move, your best move. Just keep Yahuwah first and he'll protect you. Voice of one, crying in the wilderness, make way for the king. 5 smooth stones, I put one in the sling. Shots fired on the enemy. Murder my foes, spiritual wars never cease. We put off the mortal clothes, yeah. You want this flesh to die, purge of all sin. Cause you gon' have to lose in order to win. Quam, and it's gonna be hard to kick it with you if you're not deeply rooted in the scriptures. Set apart the mode. I hear the sound of falling chains. Yahuwah is a consuming fire, he make it rain. 100 jobs, never tired, never burn out. Plus, obedience breaks generational curses. The chains broken, send rain to a thirsty land. Righteous rule with a sturdy hand, giving all praises to Yahuwah, who set free the captives, made kings out of slaves, green pastures. I hear the chains falling, chains falling. There is power in the name of Yahushua. There is power in the name of Yahushua. There is power in the name of Yahushua. Break every chain. There is power in the name of Yahushua. There is power in the name of Yahushua. There is power in the name of Yahushua. Break every chain.